Cheers, inner tubes. How are you?
Hey.
Happy Festivus. Whatever. I lost sound in my headphones.
What happened?
Lost sound. It just like clicked off.
Oh.
Did the liquid death. Sure, I might have shorted out with liquid death.
Did you unplug something? This is a great way to start your show. What an awesome intro this is.
There it is. It's this little gimmick right here.
Yeah, you need to pull that back.
Oh, it's loose. It's like dangling.
So go ahead and plug that back in.
Yeah. It's like you gotta have it like just in the right spot. Alright. No touch. No touchy. Alright, we're good. Cheers. It is December 22nd. Yesterday was the first day of winter solstice. Is that the solstice?
Is that right?
Yeah, December 21st is the first day of winter. So
you mind if I check the stream live on there since we're having technical stuff?
Yeah, let's check it.
Anyway, keep talking about the solstice.
Yeah, solstice. So actually yesterday was the inverse of my birthday. So for 12, yesterday was the 12/21. So I'm trying to start a thing called Bizarro Birthday. So it's just like the same thing of your birthday month, but just the month is the same, but the date is just flipped. And then you don't say happy birthday. I say, I hope your day sucks. Bizarro birthday.
Have an awful day. Would you do that the rest of the year?
Yeah, have it. No, just on that one, on your Bizarro birthday. Just have a bad day.
Do you have to give everybody else gifts?
Yeah, I think you do. You just have to give all your gifts that you got. You got to give them to somebody else. I think that's the way to go. But anyway, yeah, no, it's still really 'tis the season. Whatever holiday you choose to spend, it seems like the end of the year, everything kind of converges. So we got a lot to cover. Obviously, we have Weird Beer Wednesday. We got one more holiday beer to hit up. We went to Terror Tuesday last night, Alamo Draft House. It was awesome. We're going to talk about that.
We got something for every day of the week.
We do have something for every day of the week. Hawkeye finale. We still never even got a chance to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Matrix, we literally just came fresh off a viewing of The Matrix. On top of, we cannot finish our holiday without having Christmas movie trivia to finish it out. We had Halloween trivia, Thanksgiving movie trivia, and now we got to do Christmas movie trivia. So we got a lot to pack in. So I think we're going to need a beer to pack them in.
So don't throw me any like fast cues or anything because I'm not sure what's working today and what's not. And it sucks because it's the Christmas show.
We got to walk a fine line. Walk a fine line. So yeah, it's okay. No fast cues. I should turn off my phone, but I'm checking text too. But
that's always good to do. We're live, pal.
So let's get right into the beer. It's 5:56. We're technically in happy hour in at least 2 to 3 different time zones, at least. So let's dig in. So this first one,
in a little segment we like to call
Weird Wednesday.
It's actually just called Wednesday.
Yeah, it just happens to be. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because I do get on this. I'm on this text string where if there's, speaking of weird beer, if there's beers involved, it's like a runaway train.
So the snow. Okay, so technical difficulty. The snow is not working. Let's see if we got Christmas cheer working.
Yeah, is Christmas cheer working?
Christmas cheer. Where are you? It's there.
Cheers there.
All right.
Christmas cheers, which we should be doing with our final Christmas beer toast, right? Christmas.
Oh, we are missing. Ooh. Okay, let's see.
Remember that first time we went live on YouTube and we did a whole show and we thought we were live and we weren't live?
Yeah, no, but didn't we do it twice?
We did. We ended up doing it twice, and I don't even know if I think we ended up not posting it because I think we were having a very uncanny valley. Is it live or is it Memorex? Is this really happening So we'd go into it, and then we're like, "Wait, are you really asking me, or is this part of the show? Like, you trying to slip into a bit?" And like, "No, I really need to test this."
Yeah,
So and it's
those were
okay.
the days.
Yeah, but we're coming up on our season finale. Whether you're watch us on YouTube, the video or the audio portion, we're gonna call it a season finale. We've been going on YouTube. We've been going close to a year. We had a soft launch with WandaVision, but I don't think we really started digging in.
Do you want to see our first video?
I don't know. Should we put in the first
Since
video?
this is we're gearing up to the season finale.
Yeah, I don't know. We could.
Oh wait, I guess we got sidetracked. We didn't introduce. Go ahead and introduce the beer, and I'll pull it up.
Oh yeah, you want to do the beer first? Yeah, let's do the beer. So, for this weird beer, it is called. We're gonna go with the blue Christmas theme. This one's called Blue Dream. Spoiler alert. I think you're gonna hate it, but I think I'm gonna love it because it is a blue raspberry sour. And the first thing when you think of a blue raspberry sour, I think of, I don't know about you, but I think of Jolly Ranchers. You know, those filling pullers that we used like to call a candy treat. So I don't know.
Yeah, you just bite down on one of those, you'd lose all your dental work.
Yeah, at first you're like, oh, I can actually make a perfect indention of my teeth, but then it turns out like you remove anything that wasn't actually connected to your jawline. But anyway, this one looks really good. It's a local. It's a made in Texas by Texas. And if we had a little soundboard, we'd have the Texas, y'all. But this one's got a hammer. This is an 8%. This is an 8%.
That's an 8%er. Let's
Yeah,
see.
this is an
Can we see the back of the
8%,
can there? Or-
Yeah, I don't know if how much you can get on that. I can do a little twist-a-rooney.
Yeah, give it the twist-a-rooney because we can see a lot. What's that? That's an angry fish on the back?
Yeah, I don't know if that's Krampus, since this is a Christmas beer.
Yep.
But it does have a dove on there, and to quote Mars Attacks, maybe to them doves mean war. Because you see,
That was just the anniversary of that movie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It really is. So, yeah, let's crack in. Let's pop it. Let's pop it like it's hot, but it's cold because it was in the freezer. All right. Give it a sniff test.
How's it sniff?
It smells a little bit like Christmas roast.
What kind? Like
With-
duck?
with blueberry dressing. I
All
don't
right.
know.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
every
yeah,
beer
let's
should
try
have.
it. All right, so let's see. We're right here. Oh, it's blue.
It's actually blue?
It is blue.
Oh, that's bad news, man. That's bad news. Bad things are going to happen.
Oh man, what do you think, Senor Pancho thinks?
That's a
of
terrible
the blue
pour, by
beer?
the way.
Yeah,
Sorry, I got to shoot on your pour.
Yeah,
there.
no, I was trying to not do it over the keyboard. It just always ends up near my keyboard, so I kind of gimmicked the pour. Let me see if I can try it without the
You know, you can
keyboard.
slide your computer to the side.
Yeah, last time I don't want to knock anything out again. I'm not going to move anything.
That's green? Green looks like green.
Well, this is clearly.
Put that on the close up, please,
Yeah.
because
All right, let's do this here. Yeah, there we go. There you go. That looks good. It's definitely festive.
so it doesn't look blue or raspberry-ish.
It looks festive. This is just like I just got a 7-layer burrito with that Mountain Dew at 2 a.m.
Once you add a Baja Blast.
Yeah, this is definitely a Baja Blast beer. All right, let me bring it over. I'll bring you the can if there's anything more you want to see with this. Heading over in intern mode.
Yeah, wait. Now, is this actually even a beer? It looks like a cider or something. Thank you.
All right. I did not knock the wire out, so that's good. That's good news. So, yeah, is there anything more you see on that? It's definitely a beer. I don't think this is a cider.
This is an 8% sour. Not a lot of information here. You know, sometimes they give you a description that's like, oh, we mixed nutmeg and whatever and boiled it
Yeah.
and made this beer. But no, it just says pregnant ladies shouldn't drink it.
Is this going to make your poop blue?
Made in Texas by Texans.
All right, let's give it a drink. Ready?
This is such an. This is weird, man. The color here is strange. I've never. This is like prom night's gonna go bad kind of color.
Is this Mad Dog 2020? It's just like they carded us and they let it slide, but we had to grab the cheapest thing on the bottom rack.
It's like coconut Mad Dog. All right, whatever.
Let's try it. Cheers. Nope, that's good.
That's stiff.
That's good. So there's not a lot of sweetness to it.
Zero sweetness.
But you really do taste the blue raspberry, whether it's if you ever had our blue raspberry slush puppy, I think it's the slush puppy syrup mixed with beer.
That tastes like Atomic Warheads candies if they were fermented into beer.
Oh man. Do you like you don't like sour.
I don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I like this. What is it about the sours that just knock out those hops? Because that hops are just like, they are so bitter.
I don't know, but the sour to me just seems like I don't know. I mean, usually I kind of like to drink a beer. I'll drink it like you want to down it in a couple of drinks. So these just don't go down smooth for me.
Oh, I guess sour. I'm the yeah.
Then you just don't like the hops. You're not a hops guy.
No, I grew up just drinking so many. Like, I still to this day will take the Sour Patch Kid dust, and then whatever I'm drinking, especially if you're drinking like Mountain Dew, I will literally just pour the dust on there on top of it.
That sounds problematic.
Yeah, that's what it reminds. Actually, I think that's exactly what they just did. Idea.
It is definitely a sour, and it's definitely blue-green. Aqua? It's kind of aqua?
Yeah, it's aqua. It's pretty impressive that they managed to get that blue raspberry taste without any of the sweetness, though.
Well, since we're having sweet beer, sour beer.
Sour beer.
Sour beer. You know what goes great with that?
What?
Sweet potato chips.
Sweet treats. Yes, we do.
No, sweet chips.
Sweet
like
chips.
like you'd get in a pub or something.
Yeah.
But these are from HEB.
Well, yeah. Coincidentally, we had our second. We did some weird chip last week. What was the last week one? Was the
that was the Mexican hot chocolate.
Yes, the Mexican hot chocolate. This week we actually have the Dulce de Leche. Get that on
Dulce.
Dulce. Let me get that. I guess it's there. We'll see. Move back right down. Like there. There we go. Dulce limited edition thin potato chips. The Mexican hot chocolate was surprisingly good. So I have high hope from this. It's HEB. It's got an 8% alcohol count. No, it doesn't. But it's 7 ounces, but a lot of it is air. But
to protect the chips, obviously.
Protect the chips,
They need room to breathe. But you already finished your sour beer, but now you got the sweet chips to follow.
I really enjoyed it. All right, let's get
You dug the Mexican hot chocolate chips, too.
I did, yeah. So let's see what we can do here. Let's get it. If we can catch that on air. Let's catch some air on air. Oh, I think we caught that. All right, let me bring some over to you so we can do a chips cheer. All right, here we come. Try not to hit
Again, I forgot to prepare for this segment. I'm wondering what sparked this idea to make sweet potato chips. Not just sweet potato chips, but Hispanic-themed sweet potato chips. Do they make other sweet potato chips? Is there just like apple pie potato chips or something like that?
I don't think so. There will be now.
Well, I can smell. These smell weird.
You got less high hopes than from the Mexican hot chocolate ones. All right. So let's pull it out. So it's got the consistency of a Lay's.
Dude, smell them. It smells like a peanut brittle or some kind of like candy of that nature.
Yeah, can you see the chip on the close-up there? We do a little rotation. It's got the consistency of a Lay's.
Let's see. Push it out to camera and see if the camera will focus in on it. Extend your arm all the way out straight into the camera. Come on. Come on, autofocus. Doesn't like it. All right, never mind.
All right, let's try it. Now I'm curious. Smell is I smelled salt and sweet and savory.
Damn it, these are good. These are better than the other ones.
Yeah. Wow. We're not even stoned, and these are really good.
But what if we were, though?
If we were, that would be a game changer. All right, I made the classic mistake, or whatever you want to call it. I took them right from the bag. I will have to get the bag over here, or you'll hear crunching the entire time. But I like it.
Whoa, no, these are great. These are actually really great.
Yeah, and the thing is, the vanilla smell or the dulce de leche smell is actually stronger than the taste. So it smells like a cookie, but it tastes like a chip.
Well, you just cut a promo for them.
Smells like a cookie, tastes like a chip. Because the sweet is very faint. It's very faint. More faint than the chocolate ones last week. I don't know. What do you think?
These are great. I love these. Like, I would like to eat these with a turkey sandwich.
Oh my God. Yeah, these are really good. You want to do some ASMR?
Do it.
Let me try one
People
more.
can like rewind that part and loop it.
Let me try one more. Subscribe to my Twitch page. All right. Last one. That was good. I have to stop though.
Speaking of subscribe,
Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We go live once a week, but after that, we usually
if you
break
like
some
this
clips.
content, look, here it is again. That's what you do. Click on the things. All right, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore.
Yeah, click on the gimmicks. So it helps us. We're already like super confusing to the algorithm. You know, we had our Lucha Bro Mike kind of break us down, and we're super confusing to the algorithm. We know how to make it angry.
Yeah.
We just don't know how to make it happy yet. It's very confusing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, who? I suppose.
Reach out to us though if you're watching this and you have any tips of just like why the algorithm only wants to make war, not love, to the Dose Incredibles network. Let us know. Give us your pointers. Give us your tips.
Yeah, let us know. And if you're really good at making thumbnails or something, reach out.
Yeah, I like our thumbnails. I mean, I think our thumbnails come up really good, but I don't know if it's standard operating procedure thumbnails. I don't know if that's the problem or not.
Well, anyway, so
Yes.
look, there was like 100 things to watch yesterday.
Yes. Well, so
So like wait, so we'll double back to Terror Tuesday, but I'm just gonna lean into the first thing was
wait, spoilers. Is that the spoiler alert?
that means spoilers. We don't have a specific one. We got to prepare these things ahead of time.
Yeah. No, I think the explosion pretty much sums it up. That because we're basically going to explode with spoilers because there's a lot. I mean, we haven't even got. It was a week ago. Like we just didn't even have what was going to happen on Spider-Man yet, and now our brains are filled with Spider-Man, Matrix, and Hawkeye. So I don't know where we want to start with first.
Okay, so like I said, first I'm gonna start with Hawkeye, if I may,
Go ahead.
because it stayed up till 2 for Hawkeye.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
I made it to 1 and I was like, they're not going to post it. And I went to sleep and then I woke up early and watched it.
Dude, they posted on the dime. There's folks on YouTube staying up just to watch it live.
I didn't see any live streams. Oh, I knocked that cable out again. I didn't see any, was there any, viewing parties?
I mean, yeah, there was a couple. By viewing party, you mean just like a dude on his webcam?
Yeah, the watch-alongs.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a party, I guess. But, there was a few going on, and I'm not going to lie, I did have one on while I was watching the finale. What a weird, the fact that we're also going to talk about Matrix, but, we've got computers going on showing the movies we want to watch while people are on the computer also watching the same thing but not in the same room.
Yeah.
And we're not talking to them. They're just kind of
parallel play.
Parallel play.
Parallel play. Like, we're the kids in the gymboree yard, the children's courtyard, playing the same game right next to each other, not really acknowledging each other necessarily. But so you want to do Hawkeye first, since it's kind of fresh? What do you want? What were your immediate thoughts?
I thought it was a fine conclusion to a fine 6-hour movie.
Damn fine.
I think it's probably my favorite of the Marvel shows this year.
Okay, yeah.
I was a fan. I like Captain and Winter Soldier, or was it Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yep.
But this one probably tops it, I would say.
This definitely 100% tops it. This was, to me, this was hands down better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. It felt less fragmented, and maybe they had the advantage of they didn't really have to necessarily change their storyline.
That's the thing, right? I forgot about that. Falcon and Winter Soldier had to change their entire plot line.
Yeah.
After they already filmed it.
But this one felt more fun. That felt a little bit more like we wanted Falcon and Winter Soldier, and make no mistake, we liked it. I'm not saying we didn't like it, but we wanted that to be a buddy cop film in the vein of Lethal Weapon. Instead, we got Kate Bishop and Clint Barton in the vein of Lethal Weapon, having the buddy cop dynamic, except it's the weird dynamic between a mentor and a mentee.
At Christmas. At Christmas. So that's why I said when I saw the first episode of texting, I was like, it's like, oh, Disney's channeling Joel Silver and Shane Black minus the cocaine.
Yeah, there was no cocaine in this. It was implied. Trust me, bro. They're definitely pushing the white powder to the nose. They'll trust
those guys.
Yeah, the Tracksuit Mafia. What a great name, too. Tracksuit Mafia. I love that.
No sold it.
No.
I like it.
Yeah, they liked it. So the big spoilers, there was no spoilers, and I was afraid because I got almost spoiled, but it really wasn't. There were spoilers in episode 4 and episode 5. And then I was like, well, there'll probably be some in 6, but there really wasn't. But it really wasn't too much of a spoiler. I mean, here comes the first spoiler. I mean, in episode 1, we saw the hand and we heard the voice, and we kind of suspected that Kingpin was going to be in it.
Can you do a Kingpin voice?
I don't think I can. That was more like a video, but no, we've talked about this on the show before. Robert Zadar used to actually call me Vinny because I looked so much like Vincent D'Onofrio. So
you were young Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, that's Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're gonna be my Vinny. Once you write me that horror western, you're gonna be my Vinny. But I can't do it. But I do like the way he delivers it. And this show was just fun. They made Kingpin even more fun than he was even in Daredevil. Do you think it was serendipitous timing that they alluded to Kingpin, and then Spider-Man No Way Home drops, and then we get, I don't know about your theater, but my theater, there was a huge pop for Matt Murdock. A huge
100%.
pop. It was a huge pop. So right there, boom, two of the, very noticeable characters from the Netflix MCU show pop up within days of each other. You couldn't time that better.
Yeah.
But having Kingpin
I don't think
in
it's
there,
serendipitous. I think it's totally on purpose, obviously.
yeah, because usually a big studio head like that, can they time that well? And the answer is yes. Yes, they can. And another part that made this show so fun for me was Yelena.
She's awesome. Belova is the most adorable assassin.
Oh my God, she's great.
You just want to let her kill you.
Yes, it's just like, okay, can I eat your cheesy noodles, the delicious noodles, before I kill you? Yeah, I mean, she just made that whole scene in Kate Bishop's kitchen when she was making the mac and cheese. That scene was great. I saw somebody made like a 10-hour version of that.
Did they really?
Yeah.
No, it's great. She's awesome on screen. Florence Pugh, just
oh yeah,
what a great actress.
Yeah. So
and I like the part that I thought really got me was when they were mid fight scene, and Kate Bishop is like, "Hey, why don't we just have a drink instead?" And she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, I mean,
she just wants to hang out and have fun.
I don't know. I think Black Widow got a lot more hate than it should have. I mean, that was actually, I thought it was really well, and it had a lot to do with the casting, and it had a lot to do with Florence Pugh. And she brought that same fun feel to this film. And we got the payoff of the end scene, the end post credit trailer scene with what's her name? Julie Louise Dreyfus character, right? When they hired her, and then you knew they were going to hire for Clint to kill
Oh, and
Clint.
Black Widow.
Yeah, we got the payoff to that. So I thought it worked really well.
Yeah, I mean, it was Black Widow was fine, whatever. But I think as far as the Disney shows, this is probably my favorite. It just it was a blast. It was like it's an action movie, and it's kind of a throwback to an '80s action movie in a lot of ways, like you said, the buddy cop vibe.
Then, and I feel like it's almost unfair. It's really tough for me to pick favorites and not favorites because it's unfair because I think Hawkeye would be classified as what we've heard of it, and the Netflix shows really reflected this of that street level show, and I can't really compare that to Loki or even WandaVision, because you have the magic in there, so it's a very different comparison because I don't know. Wanda was great because I guess you never forget your first. I mean, that was the first MCU show, even though they didn't stick.
Oh, it was a crazy time. Everybody was so excited for a new Marvel show because there was crazy shit going on in the world.
And it didn't stick the landing necessarily, but it was just like, it was, again, here's the theme between all of them. They were all fun. And I guess out of all of them, Falcon and Winter Shoulder. I have this whole Rocky Balboa thing with my mouth. That's why I loosen this up. Falcon and Winter Soldier
Shampoo?
would be at the bottom. What is shampoo?
Falcon and Winter Shoulders? I don't know why that Shampoo for men.
It would be shampoo for men, but I guess they would be the one that was the least amount of fun. Even though it was good. Even though Zemo dancing for 10 hours was fun.
That was fun. But for a shoot, I think I can't stop eating these chips. That's a shoot.
Yeah, I got them away from me.
For a shoot, though, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier, they had to change the whole plot line. So it went through big edits. And I think WandaVision, they didn't even finish it.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about this. I think it was unfinished.
That's right, because Darcy, they just had one little scene that...
She's just kind of gone at the end of the finale?
Yep. Yeah, she was just totally just gone at that. And she was a great character, so you know there's no way they did that on purpose.
And I'm wondering if there's just more that we didn't... that we didn't get.
It very well could be. But we're going to find out because we have the House of Harkness that's coming up. It was Agatha. It was an Agatha spinoff all along. So they're firing all cylinders and they're going all in on having this TV universe kind of go at the same time as the film universe. So this was this the first official like crossover for a new-ish character with the Julie Louise Dreyfus and the Yelena being in Black Widow and then being on the shows.
Was Julie Dreyfus?
No, she was in. She was at the end of Black Widow. So I just feel like that they started that narrative after Falcon and Winter Soldier. She hired Yelena, and now you saw that action play out on Hawkeye. But she hired her on screen.
Right.
So I don't know if was that the first time that we're
the
starting
first
to bleed over.
Movie crossover.
Yeah, that's bleeding over like that.
I guess for that particular storyline, I would imagine.
And it felt like I felt it the second time. It felt really big. And again, I always like to have a great group of people that you're watching with that pop at the right spots. At the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, when they showed the Doctor Strange trailer, which we can also talk about. When Wanda showed up, the crowd popped huge. There was no like, oh, you dropped the ending, or you fucked up. Like they said, it's like, oh, it's Wanda, and she referenced Westview from the show.
Yeah.
So it's now you're seeing that zigzag between.
The thing is, bro, if you don't pay the extra 20, how much is Disney Plus?
I don't even know.
Whatever it is,
it's cheaper annually. That's all I know.
Anyway. You won't be able to follow the films.
Yeah.
You need to watch the shows now, too.
They're going to get to that point.
Disney demands it.
So it's funny that they're all getting, so WandaVision is spinning off, House of Harkness. Echo, who was the assassin in this show, right, is spinning off of Hawkeye. Was there Loki's getting a season 2? right? So I don't know if you count that as a spinoff, but they're starting to build properties, and it could be argued that you would watch a U.S. Agent John Walker show in a second. If they
It's comic book titles.
yeah,
They're just expanding them exponentially now.
yeah, and it's going fast, and it's great for if you're not a fan of comic book media. Sorry, because this is going to be the golden age, right? There's going to be never a time that since 2008 when that first Iron Man, this is going to be the golden age because before that, I mean, it took decades. It's just like Superman 2 was so great, and it took, till 19, what was that? That was like 80, and then it took 89 before you had to make the jump to like Tim Burton doing Batman, and you're like, "Oh, that's great too." And then it took another decade, like 2000 before you got to like the X-Men, and then late 90s you had Blade in there too. I mean, these were big like clunking moves, and now it's just like boom, 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 and it's going so fast, and people are able to keep up with it. And I don't know about you, but it doesn't feel. I guess since if you started watching from the beginning, you're okay. I feel bad for the people that are like, where do I jump in and start to be kept up with this universe? Similar to like, I would love to watch Doctor Who. I feel like I would love everything about it, but I don't know where to start because it's been so long.
Well, if you're lost in the MCU and you need to catch up, just get the TNT app and just put it on a loop, play it 24/7.
Yeah, because they have
You'll see all the films eventually.
Yeah,
and you'll see all the Fast and the Furious films while you're at
yes,
it.
you will. And there's a common thread there. Maybe TNT's all about family. Whether it's the family you're born with or the family you choose. But yeah, 2 thumbs up for Hawkeye. Again, Yelena was a great highlight to that. Kate Bishop, she was awesome. Hats off to Haley Steinfeld. I mean, I know there was a little bit of a stretch, and you really had to fast forward through like how does she already know how to fight so well? And they flash back to when it started for her, when she saw the Battle of New York and she saw Clint had no superpowers and he found a way. So she started doing martial arts and training with the bow and arrow. So you had to take that leap of faith. That's why she's already so good at it. But she was great. The casting was great. And then it was fantastic to see that some of our favorite parts of the Netflix shows are going to be safe because now that it's established that, obviously besides Matt Murdock, now you have Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. It's established that at the minimum, maybe the Netflix shows are not canon, but they're going to be able to cherry pick the best parts of it. Sorry, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is not crossing over. He's sitting by the phone saying, why don't they call? But phone's not going to ring. I'd like to see Luke Cage brought over. I think they kind of dropped the ball. I like the actor they chose, and I liked the first season. I just think they sort of drug their feet on expanding the story.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see Luke Cage for real,
I feel like
really well.
I don't know if it happened around the same time that I knew that Netflix wasn't going to Disney and Netflix weren't going to renew their deals, so these shows were going to drop off. I feel like I didn't watch the last episode of any of those except Daredevil. I finally went back and did watch, but I think The Defenders was really soft, where it should have been basically this is going to be the Avengers for Netflix, and they didn't pull that off. And I think that was like, oh, that sucks. So
I think the problem with those shows, this is why they didn't really take off. They all kind of looked and felt the same.
Yeah.
They didn't have any individual takes.
Yeah, I could see that. And then they had but the only thing that was the highlight that helped them stand out was the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn effect. Like, I'm sorry we can't get you a good script, but you're so good at this, we're going to keep putting you in there. Except Daredevil. All 3 seasons were great. And The Punisher, I wasn't too crazy about season 2, but man, you can't argue with it. John Bernthal as the Punisher. Come on, Red! Come on, Red! He was just so good in that.
You think he can take Dolph Lundgren?
Well, that's a really different take altogether. That is definitely a Michael Keaton versus Robert Pattinson problem. They just look so freaking different.
Yeah.
As dull. And I don't even know who was Punisher in Punisher Warzone. I just remember Dolph Lundgren.
I can't even remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either. That wasn't the one where John Travolta was the villain, right? Was it?
No.
No, that was Thomas
That was
Jane.
the Thomas Jane one.
Wow. So they've already had that many Punishers?
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite
Four
a few.
Punishers, yeah.
Did you see the Thomas Jane Punisher short film?
No,
Much better than the actual movie.
really.
Yeah, you can find it on. I'm sure it's on YouTube or something. Should we watch it right now?
Yeah.
He does. There's a Punisher short film that he did, and it's done more serious, and it's way better. Totally
Yeah.
works. He
Yeah, I
could
don't
have worked as
remember it
Punisher.
worked. I don't know. I just remember in Punisher that having Tampa as the backdrop just didn't seem. I was like, are you on vacation? It just didn't have the same feel. I don't
As
remember.
New York City.
Yeah, it just didn't have the same feel. But I know we're going off the tracks. But yeah, Hawkeye, great. I'm glad that they got going with this. But speaking of that crossover, let's jump into.
Wait, I got to cut a promo on Hawkeye before we're done
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
what did you think of the post-credit scene?
Oh, there really technically wasn't one. I mean, they had the Rogers the musical, I Can Do This All Day. And I think that was Marvel's way of saying, because remember, it said Happy Holidays from Marvel Studios. And they're like, we're going to give you the gift of singing the entire song of I Can Do This All Day. But there was no. So
There
I
was
don't
no
even-
sting on there. There was no nothing.
Yeah, so I don't really count it. One movie did that. I forgot which one did that, where it was just basically a trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then I guess Spider-Man just did it, having Doctor Strange as the trailer at the end. I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, so
I was
wasn't cra-
bummed. I was bummed. I thought we'd get something, and there was like, when I realized they were doing the whole song, I was like, okay, haha, funny. Kind of got rickrolled by Disney.
Yeah, it did feel like a rip.
But like, I thought we were going to get at least a little bit of, maybe we'd see Steve Rogers in the crowd or something.
Yeah,
Watching his musical.
that
Like,
would. Oh, yeah, something that simple
but
would
like,
have
what?
been great.
We got nothing.
Yeah, wow, that's
I
a
was
really good
disappointed.
idea. They could have really done that and just as a throwaway. But then, can you imagine the Twitter chatter would have been if you just had Steve Rogers watching Rogers the musical?
Yeah, we'd
if
be
it was,
talking about it
even
quite
if
a
it was
bit more.
old man Steve. And then
Yeah,
he's-
because he would dig it.
Yeah,
would
he would've went
that would
there.
be right up his alley, kind of entertainment. He'd be like, "This is a good show."
and then you could have had the meme. He's just like, "Hey, you gonna stay for the encore?" No, I don't think I will.
That's pretty good.
That would have been really good. So yeah, no, there really wasn't one. So I was kind of bummed about that. And of course, you just like you just click through and you're hoping it happens, and then it just doesn't happen.
Once Disney tells you to watch Shang-Chi, you know the show's over.
Yeah, yeah, at the bottom, right? That clip at the bottom. Yeah, that was done. But we roll on. It was just great that this happened to fall on the same week as Spider-Man. Like I said, let's just jump into No Way Home. That Mac Murdock and Kingpin show, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, kind of like a quick little nod, like, "Hey, we're here and we're not going anywhere." But
We're going into Spider-Man.
yeah, let's go into Spidey. You got
Remember,
a Spidey
this is going to
sting?
be a spoiler.
Yes. Spider Sting. Spider Sting. There it is. But we talked about this. I watched it, immediately, first showing, the 6 p.m. on Thursday, as soon as you can. And then I booked to watch it again. I think I did watch it. No, I waited a day. Usually I watch it again very next day, but I decided this time I'm going to let it sink in for more than 24 hours and then go in and get it. And like I told you, I liked it. I mean, I loved it the first time, and I really enjoyed it the second time. Now, do I think, like a lot of people saying, best Marvel film of all time? No. I can tell you right away, no. You can't pack the emotion that I count Infinity War Endgame as one film, and I count that as the best Marvel piece of all time. But it came close.
I would say, for me, Infinity War is better than Endgame.
I know a lot of people got that. I think a lot of people did dig that. I enjoyed the closure that they bookended 11 years and did it really well.
Endgame is the only movie I can remember, not Endgame, Infinity War, that at the end I was just like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and that's why I'm really bad. I also do the same thing with Star Wars, although now you can say the Lucas Star Wars versus the Disney Star Wars. When it's a piece like that where you have to get the entire story, it's very hard for me to separate what's part one versus what's part two. Because originally it was Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. They didn't even have a different name for it. But I can't separate it because that's one that you really can't have one without the other. I mean, I guess you can have Infinity War and then Thanos snaps everybody away and then over. I guess you could do that, but to get the whole emotional piece, you need both films. And that's why I don't think there's no way Spidey can, No Way Home came close. And I would even say, Spider-Man had a lot to do with this. I would say Civil War is better as well too. I mean, because you get the first look of Spider-Man and you get, Black Panther in there. So I wouldn't even put No Way Home above that. But it's there. I would say it's in the top 5 for sure because you had Toby, who we were introduced to as Spider-Man back in 2001. So he does have that legacy of just like, oh, finally, after all these years, because what they have in common, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, is they both had very unsatisfying endings to their 10 years of Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, that's the theory. But I will say Spider-Man 3 is overhated.
Oh, yeah.
It's just because of that silly dance part that people dog.
Oh, you're talking about the Raimi
Spider-Man
part 3.
Raimi Spider-Man 3
Oh,
is
yeah.
overhated.
It really is. I would say the only thing it just needed, like any successful director, they just need an editor that says, I'm going to cut this. I'm sorry. We have to cut this. Dancing with the Eggs is not going to really bring anything more to this film. I'm just going to cut it.
Yeah, or just push stuff back a year so you can plan it out a little better.
Yeah. But yeah, I by no means hated any of the Raimi ones, and even the Garfield ones, they were okay.
I didn't get into those. I don't even think I saw the second.
They were
one,
just
but
okay. But now looking back and now knowing what you know and seeing them together, I bet you're going to look at the Amazing series different.
Yeah, I was gonna watch them. I was already looking to see where they're streaming, so I can let those play in the background.
Guess what? Andrew Garfield stole the show. His Spider-Man was the number one Spider-Man in this. Even though he was Peter 3, he stole the show to me in this. He was like, you had Tobey Maguire, besides looking like the cool youth pastor, he was like the dad. And Tom Holland, who's always has been the best Spider-Man, he was troubled. He was struggling. So you had the levity of Andrew Garfield in there. And I just think he worked. He was the best of the 3.
He was good.
He was the best.
He was really, really charming as Spider-Man. It was good.
And did it make a difference to you that they lied to us and said they weren't in it, even though they were in it?
No, and like honestly, like I told you, the thing about this movie, the first 40 minutes or so is just the trailer. So you everything that's in the trailer is in the first 40 minutes, and I kind of found myself just trying to rush the film along. I was like, come on, get to the part. Get to the other stuff that's coming. We know this is happening. The trailer already said this. All of this. So like, I felt like I want to know less. Keep it more secret. Like I think Sony probably had a hand in leaking a lot of the stuff that got out.
Yeah.
Because they wanted folks to know without telling folks. So they would show up, and it worked. It worked. That's what people showed up for. So, but I would just like to know less now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shut it down. I feel like if you just tell me there's another Spider-Man movie, it is enough. Just say it.
And here's I can give you a little bit of an argument here. Not an argument, but just actually strengthening your argument. This was the biggest issue that we had one of the biggest issues with Batman versus Superman, right? That they blew 2 spots. You knew who, you were going to have Doomsday and you were going to have Wonder Woman, and both could have arguably been surprises, and they blew it. What would have gotten the big pop in the theater of like Captain America holding the hammer or Charlie Cox popping up would have been that this girl who said she was supposed to be Wonder Woman, no, I'm not Wonder Woman. Surprise, I am Wonder Woman, even if it's lying to your face. What if they would have Spider-Man No Way Home? I know they had to have Alfred Molina in there. He's the only one that actually showed that he's going to be, and he was a big part of the trailer. Hello, Peter. What if they just showed the Doc Ock arms and the Doc Ock silhouette, and you didn't know if they were recasting or if it was him? You would have had a monster pop in the theater when he came from the shadows and it was Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
They didn't hide it.
Yeah. I suppose they had to show something,
Yeah.
but
They had to show one. But once they show one, you know they're all going to be there. And then the trailer also had William Defoe's voice, but it was never confirmed. And they showed the pumpkin bomb, but it was never confirmed until you saw his face on the screen. So he got what I would consider a mini pop. He still got the pop. The theater was popping. It was great.
well, my theater exploded. That's when Andrew Garfield came through the portal.
Oh yeah,
Like they just went crazy.
that was done really well. That was done really well.
And
I didn't expect the swerve.
that's why
to
you go
happen like
see
that.
these movies in the theater on opening day, because you want just to experience the crowd reaction.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it is.
100%. 100%. That's why it's the only time that I'll kind of go, especially, with COVID going into his junior year, and it's got its Letterman Jack Nick for Decepticon version. But that's the only time that I want to go into a crowded theater. I want to I want to hear people screaming in a scary movie. I want to hear them laughing in a comedy. I want the big pops. I want the big pops, and they delivered. Andrew Garfield got a huge monster pop. Charlie Cox got a monster pop. And then I think by then they just were waiting for Toby, but he got a big pop. He actually got a bigger pop when he showed he was wearing the Spider-Man costume under his youth pastor costume.
Yeah.
That got a really big pop.
Yeah, props to Tobey Maguire. He hadn't been in a movie in like 10 years.
You were telling me that it's just unreal that he was basically in retirement. So
I guess you got that old Spider-Man money.
yeah, I guess you can do that. He's the one that he actually had a bank account that was just named Poker, right? When he go play poker, all I remember. It's like he's got a checking account that's just for poker money. That's fun money when you got that Sony fun money. But
Did you hear he's like a dick?
No, but it was funny that I was watching some behind the scenes, and they were showing how each of the Spider-Men handled paparazzi, and Tom Holland was like, tongue out and doing that. And then Tobey Maguire's just like, gave like the death stare.
There's a movie, can't remember the title. It's about poker. Like some, poker, whatever, underground gambling thing. And there's a character in there who's like an actor in the film, and his character's just an asshole, and he's drunk and just a jerk. And apparently it's based on Tobey Maguire, because Tobey Maguire's a big poker guy.
Really? I know he's a poker guy, but I didn't know he was a dick. Or
That's not for certain.
that's not
He could be a
confirmed.
fine individual.
Fine lad.
But that was just Hollywood gossip.
There's no telling. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you get to that point where you just have so many people hounding you that you just don't have the patience anymore? I don't know. We haven't been in his spider shoes, so there's no telling. But
You ever seen Tobey Maguire's screen test for when he had to prove he could be Spider-Man?
no, I've not seen
I'm
that.
going to pull that up. You think we'll get shut down?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's only on the Sony site, maybe. But it's worth it. It was strange to see. I guess because he wasn't de-aged, so you can tell he was definitely older, but he didn't look old.
You think they didn't de-age him?
I don't think so. I think they just I think they manually de-aged him. Like they probably spray painted his hair. Didn't hide any gray hair.
They
on
could
the-
just
on
like
the
put
chins.
makeup on him, right?
Yeah, I don't think.
Practical effects.
Yeah, I think they just did it practical, and I don't think Andrew Garfield needed it at all. But I guess
Here, watch this. Look on the screen here.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire had to prove that he could do action, so they did this thing with him. And
Is that actually Kristen Dunst? Or
No, I don't-
That,
I don't
that
think
looks
so.
like. Oh, okay, that looks.
sorry,
like,
we're not getting audio because of the thing, but I think it's probably on the stream. So there, folks, there are here now.
Oh, it's just
He did like an Enter the Dragon kind of thing.
yeah, baby oil. He got all oiled up like he was going in for a match. Oh, interesting. Is he do gymnastics like Tom Holland? Because I know Tom Holland for a shoot can do like a lot of those flips.
Let's see. What do you think? It's got
Duck. Nice side kick to the ribs. Nice, a lot of ducks. He must have did a lot of squats. Ooh, nice back elbow.
threw that guy off the screen. Okay.
I buy it. Yeah, I buy it.
All right, so that's how Tobey Maguire got the Spider-Man gig.
Yeah, that is good. Hey, there's Slava. Slava, what's up? You're gonna have guests on the show. We do have a guest. He was Senor Pancho, and he was drinking blue beer. You're gonna have to go watch that on demand. But no guests today. I mean, we do have guests. We have guests on our audio edition. You can actually hear our horror correspondent from Cork, Ireland, Brendan Hayes. We had our friend Ashley Warren do a Die Hard edition. So, but yeah, we're in the future. Season 2, anything's possible. We might actually have people show up in Dose Incredible studio, which I think Slava would be an interesting live guest.
What's up, Slava?
Yeah, I think he knows how to bring it. Slava, it's funny. We were just telling a story. We went to Terror Tuesday last night, and I don't know if I told this story to you or if I told it in my head when we were in the running for first place for the Stinger contest, or no, the bumper contest, and we were in there for Oomph Cola, and Slava was the one that actually pulled out the miracle, rushing us from Spice World to Alamo Draft House, South Lamar.
You did tell me about this.
Yeah, he whipped out his his express parking, got us right there in the front, because I was like, oh man, we're not gonna actually be able to make it. And he's like, oh, I got you, whoop, and he just got us there, and we were right there in the front row. He pulled it off. So hats out to Slav. I'm glad he joined us on that. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, we're talking about Spider-Man right now. No Way Home. Spoilers. I don't know if you saw it. We were just going over the different Spider-Mans. But again, it was really great. It was worth the watch. I'll probably, honestly, first shoot, go see it in the theaters one more time. I think it deserves a three-peat for sure.
I'll probably see it at least once more.
Yeah.
Once the crowds die down, folks are still out there lining up for that movie.
Yeah, no, it's still pretty crowded. But what did you think? I definitely would still give it an A, but I think we start getting greedy as fans, because then they really didn't do anything with Tom Hardy as Venom until that first post-credit scene, and it was really quick. I'm in the MCU and I'm out as fast as I'm in. I would have really liked to see them do something with Topher Grace, even if it was just for one quick.
Why is Topher Grace not in the movie?
Yeah.
Why didn't he get transported over?
Oh yeah, Slava's waiting for the crowds to die down too. I don't know. Well, story-wise, and sorry, Slava, this is a spoiler cast, so I don't know if you want earmuffs, but story-wise, they said that they did the spell, everybody came over, he fixed it, so a few people leaked, but then when the spell broke again, everybody else was slowly coming. So eventually, they all would have come over, and then you would have got him at the end, that he would have showed up. But it would have been a nice little nod to the hive mind of just like, even if they were drinking together, they didn't have to fight. They could have been drinking together just to have it. Because I was surprised, earmuff Slava, I was surprised. I did not know about Thomas Hayden Church coming back as Sandman. And then, what's his name? I don't know how to say his name. It's like Rise Day. He's the one that plays the lizard. He was from Little Nicky. Anyway, he's the one that played the lizard. I didn't know that they were going to get... I mean, and most of the time, it was just their voice.
Did they actually even have... They weren't physically in it, right?
No, I don't think so. I think
because
they used their
it looked
voice.
to me like they went out of their way to not actually have them in the movie.
Yeah.
You know why that is?
Cheaper? Because
Money, baby. Yeah. You want my face in the movie, too, and my voice? That's going to be triple.
So they just tripled down on that.
We'll just take the voice for third of the price. Or nothing. We'll recast you. Nothing. How about that?
I'm glad there was no recasting. Again, and this isn't a spoiler because everyone saw, Jamie Foxx in the trailer. But everybody had a lot of like, whoa, he didn't know Peter was Spider-Man, so it was just like, that's not true. And he's, and then like, well, that might have been a different version. And then you're like, oh, if you watched Loki, then there could be variants. So they were like, yeah, maybe that was a different version. But I don't know. That's what makes this stuff kind of fun, because you can put it out there and somebody can connect the dots and make it make sense quicker than most people can poo-poo it and say that doesn't make any sense. Somebody can say, well, be the comic book guy from Simpsons. Well, technically, they did know he was Peter Parker.
That's a pretty good comic book guy. So, like, here's the thing, though, that's interesting to me. Remember when movies, like superhero movies, the thing that would always bring them down, it was always the thing that would make it suck, was bad guy overload.
Yeah.
They'd always have too many bad guys, and it just make the movie hectic. This has the most bad guys of anything ever,
That's true. There was a ton
and they
of bad
and they
guys in
and,
it.
and they made it work somehow.
Yeah.
What did they do different?
Maybe because they weren't technically bad guys the whole time, and he was trying to save them, and they weren't foes and then the numbers were even. I don't know. Yeah, because that's was one of the big complaints about Toby Spider-Man third one. It's like, oh, you got Sandman and Venom. That's too much. That's too much. So I don't know. Maybe that's why.
And I want to give the director props. I don't know his name right now. The guy who directed the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, it's not the Andrew.
He's also directing.
Not Mark Webb.
He's
Right?
going to direct Fantastic Four apparently. So Fantastic Four is going to end up tying up to Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to, now that the slate's been wiped clean, which I'd like to talk about that more, but I think they're going to move him into Fantastic Four territory. But like I said, the director, I want to give him props for like swerving us so hard and having the patience to do it over 3 movies, right? Because I always thought it was weird how the way the Spider-Man saga started, because Tony Stark's gave him a suit. I thought that was crazy. A crazy way to start it, And you always had this sort of like asterisk logic to how Spider-Man is doing stuff, right?
Right.
And it was in that direction, and then Aunt May found out in the first movie. That was unusual. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of this with the idea being that in episode 3 we're wiping it all away. You know what I mean?
Well done. Yeah, it was actually John Watts. I think I said the Webb, which I think he was the director for only the first one. But yeah, you're right. This was, in a strange way, that soft reboot of bringing Spider-Man back down to be that street level hero, which with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, we kind of got. Because even you saw it in there when they were basically, telling war stories and, fish stories of like, I once fought this. It's like, I once fought an alien with black goo. And then you actually had Spider-Man. It's like, I fought an alien, and I actually fought an alien in space. Then you remember when he was a part of these Avengers, he had access to all this different technology, and he had all these adventures that were just not happening in his friendly neighborhood right out in Queens. And I feel like now the way that they left this, they're bringing it back to that. And I think that's why he even was making, he had a sewing machine for that classic shiny blue and red suit.
That was a nice touch going to that.
No more Iron
Like
Spider.
the actual old school action figure costume.
So I think that this is a way to bring him back to being that street level hero.
And it was all built over 3 movies. It was good the way they set that up, and I like the way they swerved us with the with great power comes great responsibility line. And when you realize
that was a big swerve.
When she got hit with the glider, you were like, "Oof, that looked stiff."
It did look stiff.
And you were just like, that wasn't just like a typical sort of like, rocks are falling as we're running type of action movie scenario. It's like, she looked injured.
Yeah.
Right? And then when she was dying and dropped that line, I was like, oh, she's this universe's Uncle Ben, right? That's his tragedy.
That was a big swerve. And that was a heavy scene. I don't know. I got very emotional on that, because when you realize that they were basically, it's almost like that, the tragedy of someone who tries to time travel and keeps trying to save the one they love, but it just finds another way to take them away. And you realize that to become that true Spider-Man, you will have to suffer that great loss that's going to make you. I heard somebody add to that, with great power comes great responsibility. And somebody added something that usually includes great loss. Like, they added to that, and I was like, "Whoa, that's really powerful," because they were all tearing up when they realized that they had that big loss, and she was a big loss because she was a huge crowd favorite. Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. I mean, hats off.
And they swerved us because they gave us hot Aunt May for the first time ever.
Yeah,
right. And we're just like, this is confusing. What's going on? And so it was all plotted out. Like they completely removed all your expectations. It's like, if they could do something like that with Batman, that would be great. You know how Batman's origin story is so overplayed?
Yeah.
Like they ended up spinning the origin story in a way that you didn't even see it coming, and then you realize, oh man, these first three movies are the origin story, not the first movie.
Yeah,
This has been the origin story saga,
that was great.
and
That's a
then
great way
now
to
we're
put it.
starting clean.
Yeah, that is a great way to put it. This is the origin story saga. It could be argued that Joker changed the narrative on the Batman origin story and made you realize, wow, Thomas Wayne is a dick. I'm glad he got shot.
Right? He had it coming, Batman.
It's like your dad was a dick. Sorry, and he wasn't Joker, but yeah. What else? So we had the Doctor Strange. Did Doctor Strange to you come off as didn't have his shit together in this one as much as the usually and he's supposed to he was in the mentor character, but I mean to take the line right out of from NJ, he's just like, this is kind of your mess. Wong told him not to do it, and Wong is the sorcerer supreme now because of the blip, and he told him not to do it and he did it anyway, and then he got mad at everybody else when it didn't work.
Yeah, he seemed like a dumbass, kind of. He was just like a dumbass. This was the dumbass variant of Doctor Strange. Maybe we'll see in the next one that we'll get a reveal that was actually a variant or a scroll or something.
He was very strict before, and to the point where he told Tony, "Is just like, I'm sorry if it comes to letting you die or letting the kid die over the stone. I'm going to keep the stone."
He wasn't serious at all in this one. He was just joking around. He had like a college. He might as well have had that college sweatshirt from Animal
Animal
House
House,
because he
yeah.
had like a sweatshirt that said some New York college.
Yeah.
And he was just walking
Oh
around.
yeah,
in
did he have
his
the
robe
Columbia
and
sweatshirt? And then there was one in the end. Hats off to the Foley guy because they really nailed that old dryer buzzer sound that you don't really get to hear anymore. That when the dryer was done, when they sorry, that maybe when he
Yeah,
went
it's
into,
bad.
but it was good, man. I thought he was a little clunky in the character, but they acknowledged it, right? She found the beard gimmick. I don't know if it was beard dye or beard shaper.
It was a
But
beard shaper.
yeah, it was a beard shaper, so they kind of went with it. And but he's still great, and I love Doctor Strange and the trailer for the Multiverse of Madness. And I'm glad this was going to be what launched it. We kind of felt swerved when Wanda didn't launch it, but now it's going back to maybe Wanda did launch it. And I love when there's a film that's so good or does well enough that it actually makes you go back and look at properties different that you didn't, because now you get the whole story. And I think we're going to get a version of that with Wanda, that we're going to go back and see that what happened in Westview was a little bit of a precursor to understanding the multiverse. Because in the trailer, he goes to Wanda and is like, what do you know about the multiverse? And so clearly she knows something with that chaos magic.
Well, she was reading that book.
Yeah.
What was that? Whatever it was called.
Yeah, not the Necronomicon.
The Darkhold.
Yeah, the Darkhold, not the Necronomicon. But what else had happened in there that we really wanted to hit on? We wanted to be greedy and we wanted more people to show up in the Multiverse of Madness. I wanted to have a scene where all of a sudden just a flash of Deadpool or a flash of Logan, Wolverine.
Well, given the reaction this movie's getting, I think in the next one it's gonna have every single person that they can possibly fit
to squeeze in there.
Yeah, you're gonna get Deadpool, Professor X, Wolverine, fucking what's the Chris Evans as the Human Torch.
Oh yes, now that would get a huge pop. I think that would get a monster pop of having him in there.
And I think they're probably. I mean, Kevin Feige's got some kind of plan. Whatever. People can be critical of these movies as not being cinema or not being art or whatever, and that's fine. But like, he's definitely got a plan. And he's laying stuff out, and they're opening it up to like build all these universes. So eventually, we're gonna get the team up of everyone, and you're gonna have, how when you had on Endgame, there was that part when you're getting the final battle, and you got the huge widescreen shot of
them all coming together.
That feels like the 2-page spread you'd see in the middle of the comic, right?
Yes.
When the big battle, we're gonna get that, but like times 10 again with
it's gonna be a big
multiple
one.
variations of everybody.
Yeah, because now the universe is bigger, so he has to plot these out. And you've always heard they have them, at least 5 years planned out. So I'm sure these cameos are a little bit more planned out than we'd expect. But I think it's going to be really easy to, like, oh, Deadpool slipped into there, and that's how they. That's one thing they're really good about is the payoff of coming back and again making something better. And fingers crossed, if you're watching this, I still need you to fix Ralph Boner. I still need you to fix that, and I got hope that you're going to do it. I got hope you're going to do it. That it's just like, well, it was still technically him, but it was all right. Just fix it, because again, that was one of the sore points for me for Wanda, was that. So now that you opened up the multiverse, you can easily fix that. But did you want to see the other Goblin, or did you feel like besides the other Venom, did you want to see anybody else in there? They acknowledged uh, Paul Giamatti's Rhino, and they acknowledged that Venom, but they didn't show the actual Goblin that was part of the Amazing Universe.
No, I mean, I think there was plenty of bad guys in it.
Yeah.
I was cool. I was good. I was straight. I was like, this is a good amount of bad guys.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's all I need right now. I thought the Venom post credit scene was just kind of it didn't really. I don't think it added much. Neither one of them.
It didn't really hit.
So like
yeah.
they moved the symbiote over to the MCU, whatever. That's fine, I guess. Sure, whatever.
So does that mean Tom Hardy didn't sign the contract to be seen in two different universes, but the symbiote did?
I think Sony just probably said, "Look, Marvel, we got to connect these. You got to give us the rub so that Venom, we can get Venom 3, and get some MCU stuff in there."
Sony, you are a fool if you ever break this relationship. You're an absolute fool. Make no mistake about it. Don't get greedy. Don't be stupid. The reason these do really well is because of that relationship with the MCU. This isn't 1990. Nobody wants to see fragmented universes anymore. And I'm not telling you can't have your Spider-Verse all by itself, but you just have to have these little crossovers to show that these units, like, yeah, we're still in good standing with Marvel. That's really what it comes down to. You have to prove to the audience, this is a very savvy audience now. You have to prove that you're still in good standing with Marvel for any of your Spider-Verse properties to succeed.
And they got the Vulture in their universe now.
They do, right?
So they should be like, "Hey, MCU, do you want to use any of these other guys? Because once you use them, we can use your guys too."
Right. That's all you have to do. Don't get greedy, and you can be a huge success with this. Because even the small things, right? You had Morbius walking and you had the spider. Now there was the payoff, right? In the Morbius trailer, when he's walking and on the backdrop you see Spider-Man and it says murderer across, his body. There's the payoff, because now we see why. Because there was a whole group of people, for whatever reason, that thought Mysterio was right. You're like, what? It's like, look, I can get on the Thanos was right train. What did Mysterio do to say that he was right? Like, what did he do to earn that? Thanos was like, look, this universe has too many mouths to feed, so I'm going to just cut it in half evenly because, hell, half of you are probably assholes anyway.
What did Mysterio say?
Yeah, why was Mysterio right that he said, Spider-Man's trying to kill me because he wants to be the new Iron Man? It's just like, that's not enough. I was like, what are you even saying? And like, Spider-Man already was in the public eye proving that he wasn't, so it made no sense. And Mysterio just comes out of nowhere. It's like, no, you're no Thanos. The whole Mysterio was right for me didn't land as much as Thanos was right.
That just felt like they were kind of like cutting a promo on conspiracy people.
Yeah, it probably was.
There was a little bit of that. Remember, the coach was also a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah. That actually really... Yeah, and again, well, I'm sorry. And it made them come off as just... I know different thinking, but it just came off like, you don't really have a good argument here. Like, you're not convincing. Thanos was a little bit convincing, unfortunately. And what Marvel does really well is they make really relatable villains to the point where you're like, I can kind of see that point of view. This isn't the 80s anymore. We're like, I'm a bad guy, clean cut, no matter what.
Yeah, and apparently if Thanos wouldn't have had this idea, he could have been talked out of that idea, apparently. And he was a cool guy in the What Ifs, right? He was the bro. He was hanging out with T'Challa and everybody else.
Yeah, and he made it work. But yeah, Mysterio, I don't know if you're right, but Thanos, I think that would have a healthy debate. Even Steve Rogers, I saw a pot of whales in the Hudson over here. Even he was like, well, maybe this is working. I don't know. Maybe this is working. But yeah, I don't know with the Mysterio thing being right. That was, anyway. But That being said, Jake Gyllenhaal was great as Mysterio, and I even like the callback that Tobey Maguire's like, "Oh, I got this back thing," which was a callback to when he hurt his back filming Spider-Man to the point where he didn't know if you can do it anymore, and they were going to recast him as Jake Gyllenhaal, and he even acknowledged, "Yeah, I got this back thing."
Yeah.
It's like that was a very meta callback.
The
That
crowd
really
was
worked
going
for me.
crazy when Andrew Garfield was cracking Tobey Maguire's back.
Oh yeah, what a simple thing, and it almost came off that could have been improv.
It was like, okay, so like I said, the first 30, 40 minutes is just the trailer. And then once Andrew Garfield shows up, it turns into sort of a sitcom. It's like My Three Spideys. So
Yeah,
the three Spideys trying to figure stuff out.
yeah.
Three Spideys, and you get the wacky Ned neighbor.
Right.
know.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a good way. It was my three Spideys. And maybe that was the right amount of Spideys. Because I know the crowd wanted Miles Morales. And even when Jamie Foxx alluded to it, when, Andrew Garfield is just like, I really thought you were going to be black. He's like, there's got to be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere. The crowd popped in my theater for that line.
Oh yeah,
Because
but
everybody knew.
I think I don't if however they do that though, they better let Feige drive that. Let
Oh, yeah.
Feige book it. Don't Sony could not try to make their own one. They've got to let Feige book that and do Miles Morales and MCU and then cross him over or something.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Give him the MCU rub, then send him over to do the movies. We know you're never going to give up the rights. Because this movie, the only way Marvel is getting the Spider-Man rights clean is if this movie bombed and it didn't work. And I think Sony would have had no choice but to finally give the rights back. But, now they're at the cold dead head stage. They basically have the Spider-Verse universe all built out. And I'm excited.
That is their entire film. That's like their number one property. That's everything. There's Spider-Man and everything else in their film library. You know what I mean? That's their big one. If it wouldn't have gotten over, it would have been bad news for Sony Pictures.
Oh yeah, and you're the one that said it. They didn't have a streaming service to rely on, so for them to do the number 3 weekend of all time during a pandemic and only lose to Infinity War and Endgame, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how strong that property still is.
Somewhere there's a joke that someone's making somewhere about a variant and a virus and Spider-Man and all that together, this crowds and biggest crowd ever. Anyway, there's a joke there somewhere.
There has to be. There has to be one in there. All right. I know we went long on Spidey. We had one more thing we wanted to talk about. I guess this is going to be a spoiler that heads up. The universe that we are currently living in is not real. It is people. There it is. There it is. But
This freaking update.
we saw the Matrix resurrected and resurrection. Yeah, I guess the Matrix was resurrected in the Matrix Resurrections. I'm already ready to see it again. It's one of those movies, and I don't know if the first one, again, we talked about this in our Die Hard podcast, that it was just like, Die Hard was such a success because it was this new thing, and you didn't really get to boil down into the nitty gritty of what it really was until that died down. And I feel like The Matrix is like that too. People are like, oh, bullet time and kung fu, but the philosophy that was behind it really didn't sink in until multiple viewings. And I felt like this time, and it's a very serendipitous time for this to be happening, this time I was already ready. I was going in, doing it, and the analyst character of Neil Patrick Harris, if you're going to see The Matrix, not for the robot wars, but if you're looking for the philosophy, NPH, Dr. Doogie, whatever you want to call him, the analyst, he hits it out of the park. I want to go listen to his diatribes again. Especially, it's so telling for the world that we live in the 2020s.
So you're giving it a positive review overall, yeah?
Yeah, I'm definitely giving it a positive review. Yeah.
Like, I mean, where does it rank for you on the series there?
I think this is what I think they could have done. They could have reconfigured part 3, just ball that together into part 2, and this could have been the part 3. Even though this was what we call the sequel boot, and they fast forward and they do some very meta stuff of like, wow, what reality, to the point where I was waiting for the people in the theater to turn around and actually see Agent Smith and Neo, that I was like, it was so meta. But I don't know. It's going to take multiple viewings to see where it lands for me. If it is, because I say The Matrix is phenomenal and 2 or 3 are just good, and they have nuggets of goodness in there, where the first Matrix just kind of blew you away with its philosophy. So I'm curious where this is going to land on it. But it's already in the black for me. It's already in the black.
Yeah. So I would say I've watched it once. Uh, I, I, thank you, Kat. Didn't work for me overall. Like I don't know. Like I was there was points in that first 20 minutes or so where I was just shocked, pretty shocked, and just kind of guffawed as like, what the hell is going on? Some of it felt like Gremlins 2. You know, did you ever see Gremlins
Oh
2?
yeah, they got meta. Hulk Hogan in the theater. You think the Gremsters can fight the Hulksters?
It was a little too. Some of the stuff was just too on the nose. I felt like it was too meta. Okay, like I'd like a little separation in of fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it wasn't working. It gets better as it goes, but that first half hour is rough. It's very tough.
They could have trimmed it, because when you realized what was happening, and I think they had very similar problems what we talked about for Wanda, where those first couple episodes, like if they would have showed episode 4 first and then showed 1, 2, and 3, then you would have been like, oh, okay, now I see what's going. You would have caught on quicker. But once you realize, here's the spoilers right now. Once you realize that they are talking about Thomas Anderson is a game designer, and he game designed something called The Matrix. And then once you realize that this is a trap set by a new architect known as the Analyst, and he took all those memories and made them into the game, and then Neo filled him up with blue pills to basically erase his entire memory, that actually really happened to him. It's like, no, it's just a game. And then he's the Analyst. He's also a psychiatrist telling him it was all that. And you realize, we've heard this before, the most powerful prison bars there are invisible bars. And he basically made him a prisoner of his own mind, and just was there to gaslight him the entire time. And then you realize, oh, and he realized that he was just like a scumbag capitalist that realized, oh, I have an advantage here. We need a new power source, so I found a way to resurrect these two and the power that they create together, but you can't put them too close, and it actually generates more power. And he's just a capitalist, and all he has to do is manipulate the masses to make this work. I thought it was great. That was just like, wow, what a scum. That is a very capitalistic thing to do. That he resurrected these two people that were dead, brought them back to life, and then now is using them for their power.
So I got the feeling from the first, the first bits of it or whatever, as we're getting into this, and they have to the boss is like, we were doing the Matrix with or without you. And I got the feeling. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the director did not want to make this movie.
Yeah.
And was forced, or at least coerced in a way, to having to do this film. And she did it alone. It was not the both the Wachowskis. So
the Wachowski starship.
I guess one of them didn't want to do it for a particular reason, and I think, yeah, something. I think they were shooting on the studio.
Yeah, and I think that's perfect for meta, and
Yeah.
it's the best thing Wachowskis have done. I will definitely say it's the best thing and I like Sense8, and there was tons of recasting from Sense8 into The Matrix. Like most of that computer hacker crew was the crew from Sense8 on Netflix. You know, I think this is the best thing that they've done since The Matrix, or her, Lana. But again,
Cloud Atlas is pretty ill.
Yeah, I do like Cloud Atlas. I do, but I would still put this higher than all their other bodies of work.
To me, I just got the sense that there was something wrong with this movie in its construction, right? Like, I guess from like an editing perspective, the whole thing with them using clips from the old movie throughout just felt strange, like an afterthought. Like somewhere in the process, they put the film together and like they're just we can't contextualize what you're talking about. You need to add clips from the old movie or something.
Did you feel like that would have been a studio note though? That because they're like, listen, not everybody's seen The Matrix, so we're gonna need to present this as something like, hey, even if you didn't see The Matrix, don't worry about it. We'll fill you in on the parts that you should be going, ooh, and that's why they put it in
It
there.
felt like that to me.
I could see that.
And then they kept doing this really bad slow motion effect in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not like a slow motion effect. It's literally like just slowing down the footage in your edit and you get this sort of like real choppy slow motion effect. And that was a lot. You really used a lot throughout the movie. And that to me felt like an afterthought because it was bad. It didn't look like it was planned at all.
Yeah, well, that was a shoot too, right? Because they were just talking about the whole bullet time, and they're like, "We're gonna really use this bullet time."
So we'll do the worst effect we can possibly like. It's literally just slowing down footage on your editing timeline. That's what it looked like to me. So something just felt really off about the construction of the movie. Like there was gaps that needed to be filled.
Yeah.
Or they were trying to fill gaps.
Yeah, no, I agree. Mike's in there. What's up, Mike? And he said, I can see what Mario's feeling. Old movie clips were weird. Office montage with the looping quotes were weak. Merv was dumb. Yeah, I do agree with the Merovingian payoff did not pay off for me because they weren't very clear on like the programs that were supposed to be purged, that they just kind of showed up as homeless people, to
That
fight
was
me.
good. I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I like.
But they weren't clear. It's just like you knew the Merovingian, but like who are the other ones? And again, maybe it takes another viewing. Were these the ones from the second Matrix when they were in the mansion? Because these were supposedly powerful programs that were older than Neo. But,
there were werewolves and ghosts and stuff like that.
right? Yeah, and the Merovingian was the only one that you were vaguely familiar with, and they made him look so different, that he turned into Encino Man that you couldn't even tell was him.
Yeah.
And he was basically, you ruined everything. But again, I guess I'm being a little bit more generous. Like Mike said, he thinks it's going to really age well. That I think that if you just boil past, and this is the same argument that I can have with people who watch Star Wars. If you watch Star Wars for the wars, you're not getting it. If you're watching Star Wars for the war in the stars, you're missing something. You're missing the deeper meaning from it. The Force is really and that's why the Disney ones did not work, because George Lucas, at its core, the wars were fun, but the wars are what to lure you in so he can hit you with the philosophy of what he's talking about. The Matrix has that same thing. If you're here for the robots versus humans, you're only getting a portion of the story. You're not getting the full philosophy of just like, this is a simulated reality. I don't even doubt it anymore that this is a simulated reality that we live in. It's not even, I don't like to actually even call it simulation theory anymore. To me, it's not theory. It's real. It's just a reality. It's like, I'm sorry, whatever you want to call your creator, whatever you want to call him, God, whatever you want to call him, that's how I don't even want to call it he. That's how it has that levels of control. Gravity is just a rule that is programmed into this app that we live in. So when I go in there and I see that, I was like, I don't doubt that anymore. So I was looking for that. I was looking for that stuff where, and that's where the NPH stuff, when he was like, these sheeples, like they believe in some weird shit. That got a huge pop from a certain number of people in the crowd. Not everybody, but that got a huge pop. It's like, you guys believe in some weird shit.
How was the crowd? Were they into it?
They were very into it. But I feel like I was on Wachowski's Starship, because I went and saw it IMAX first showing. And everybody that walked in, it's like, it looked like they were extras in Sense8. I was like, they even had like they
have the leather dusters. And
yeah,
all that
they had the no, it wasn't even Matrix cosplay. It was Sense8 cosplay. I was like, this could have been, I guess, the Matrix rave. It was definitely Wachowski rave, and they were popping on all the right. This crowd really dug it. I'm not saying it's a perfect film by any stretch. It could be argued. I was wearing the heel Star Wars shirt last week, the last Jedi, right? It was one of the most hated Star Wars that's the most decisive. But there are nuggets in there that actually do work, and that's probably the stuff that they took from Lucas's library. That's what, to me, that's what this film was. Just those two diatribes alone of NPH breaking down what reality really is made it worth it.
I think I would have enjoyed it much more had they dialed back the whole shooting on Warner Brothers.
Yeah, they didn't
Stuff.
need that. Yeah, that wasn't
I just,
necessary.
you know, the workshops and the focus group stuff where they're brainstorming
that.
ideas was just like super cringe. I was like, that made me uncomfortable. That felt like a bad, a bad corporate video or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, I think, and you saw where it's going when it got too meta. This was it was turning into the point where it was almost like an SNL skit when all of a sudden they take out you off the stage, and you're seeing everyone behind the scenes. And then to me, that's like something that you wouldn't do when you're trying to be serious. That's something that you want to try to do as a comedy. The only one we ever seen doing it in horror was Wes Craven with The New Nightmare, right? That didn't work with that.
I think all you needed, if you're going that direction, was that scene with Christina Ricci as the executive.
Yeah.
Given the presentation, that's it. That's as far as you got to take it. Cut it there. You know what I mean? The rest of that, just man, it got uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it felt like it went so long, and then they turned it into a montage, right? And then you actually just had a montage where you could have just had the montage and been done with it, so you didn't really waste too much of precious dialogue that could have been used to move the story forward. And there was some stuff that they could have cleared up. Like I said, it's not a perfect film. Like, like Mike said, I love the modal stuff too. And they could have really got into, like, is it just embedded in Neo's brain code that he just left this door open for them to find it? And they weren't 100% clear on how Morpheus really worked into that. Like, this was the essence of Morpheus, that in the modal is just like, well, we programmed it, but it's not exactly the same. That's why they actually had a different, actress that was playing, Trinity in that part. And then they had the same thing, but he was also a Smith. I think they could have used something to build that more, flesh that out a little bit more. I feel like how Morpheus fits into this wasn't really fleshed out enough of all the returning characters. I even think the Smith was fleshed out a little bit more, although I think they could have been a little bit clearer on how he made his way into this too. Like, like the architect said, maybe they could have made it, her name is Trinity, right? So they said, for this power to give off the ultimate power source, we need the one, we need the other one, and then we need the anti-one. And this triangle is what actually creates this power. So the three of them together is actually what's making it generate that actual power.
Definitely. No, I mean, I think you definitely can tell you're into the philosophy of it, and I know that of you, but I think this just the stuff with really the meta commentary just really rubbed me the wrong way. I think they could have dialed that back. It was just way too much.
Yeah.
It sent it into absurdity territory. It just it became a parody at that point, and it was dangerous. A comedy. There's been no jokes in The Matrix at all, and this one was kind of loaded with jokes.
Yeah. No, and that didn't work. Yeah. And
did anybody make a joke in the first Matrix at all? Was there a single laugh line?
No, I mean, not the intentional ones. You had what was his name? Rat. He was the. Yeah, but no, I see where you're going. And again, that's why I felt like when the camera panned away, I was okay with seeing his desk, and you realize that, the architect is actually using this as a prison, and he convinced him that no, that didn't really happen. This is just a game, and you just got so wrapped up in this game. They could have focused on different parts of that to make it seem less like a parody and more like a terrifying prison. I brought this up before. I think it was an episode of Angel when the guy was convinced that he was living this normal life, but he was actually, I believe he was like a warlock. I don't know. I'm going to be way off, but the essence was he was trapped in this, and every day he showed up, asked his wife, "What's for dinner?" And he had a kid, and he didn't really have a kid, but the kid was in there. But it was never like, don't go in the basement. And he was terrified of the basement, and he didn't realize he was trapped in a time loop. and that was basically a prison. And basically, that was Neo and Trinity trapped in this time loop, and they created this prison where you can be just close enough to generate the power, but where I'm going to keep you in here forever. So I'm going to just basically do the donkey with the carrot, and I'm going to just have you keep walking because this is generating an amazing amount of power. And I solved the power crisis. I did how they turned that into is like, yes, there was peace, but then there was scarcity, and with scarcity comes war. And now the machines had a civil war because there wasn't enough power. And we see that, and when there's not enough of something, now I guess not just people, machines will go to war. So now it's not man versus machine. It's like some of the men are teamed up with some of the machines against some of the other machines, but some of the other people are not even, they don't care. They want to live in the Matrix. They want to stay in the Matrix and continue to generate power. Like, no, 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 don't take me out of the Matrix. I'm cool here. That was a good callback to Cypher. It's just like, I choose the Matrix. Right?
Yeah.
There were so many people that were choosing the Matrix. So
Yeah, you want to live on a spaceship and eat synthetic strawberries?
yes. Or do you want to stay here and just like eat that bloody juicy steak? And that was a nice callback. Neo did that, right? He did the same thing with the steak. But yeah, I would have liked to see Smith, definitely fleshed out a little more. Mike was saying, it had the same, he was paced exactly. So hats off to the actor who played Smith in this because Hugo Weaving, that was big shoes to fill, and he did a really good job. And then he had a weird kind of baby face turn, I guess. And that's what made me think, wow, they could have really dug into, I don't want to say, for lack of a better terms, the Matrix Holy Trilogy of, Neo, Trinity, and Smith. Somehow those three together are actually what's
Why
creating
did we
that.
not get Agent Smith in this movie? That's what I don't understand.
Scheduling conflict was the only reason that Hugo Weaving wasn't.
That's code for he wanted more money.
That might be code for it, but I don't know. This is just like, this is my first gut reaction of it that I really, Lana Wachowski clearly, again, I wouldn't be surprised if she walked through the door right now and says, surprise, this is a simulation. And that's how meta this really got. To me, I saw the meta, not the parody meta of this, that I was really starting to look around. Like I kept hearing something behind me and I was waiting for like some mirror for me to like walk through. And like, that's how meta this is going to be. Like, that's how I think when people like, whoa, man, when they have these NDEs, right, these near-death experiences, and then all of a sudden they're like, my whole life flashed before my eyes. It's just like, yeah, you just rewatched your life that was basically on a DVR now, and you got to rewatch it again. So it is going to feel very meta that you're sitting there watching yourself from the outside, or when people have out-of-body experiences and they look down and they're like, wow, it looks like me, but I don't feel like it's me because I'm right here. So that's what I wanted to get out of this film, to the point where it's just like I wanted to be immersed into like, how does that reality fit into our reality? But like you, I don't want it to be a comedy. Now I want it to be fun, and this movie was fun to me, but I don't want it to be a comedy. There's a difference between being fun and being in a comedy.
Yeah, I just think I think I would have liked to see maybe more, instead of the meta commentary. I would have liked to see maybe some commentary
Absolutely.
on how the Matrix has changed since. Like, I mean, when this movie came out, we weren't as plugged. Was there social media? We just had MySpace, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
So like,
You're right.
now people are plugged into their social media matrix 24/7. I would have liked to see a little bit at that. Maybe talk about big tech, talk about YouTube, somehow work that into the storyline.
Yeah.
Because that's what's real these days. I mean, they used to jump in the Matrix through a phone booth back in the original.
And now they're jumping through mirrors.
Now they're jumping
and they
through
didn't really
mirrors.
explain
I don't.
that.
And that's the thing. It's like, why is it a mirror? Why not? Why isn't it a piece of tech? I don't. I don't know. I just think
No, they didn't explain that at all, and they should have.
I think that
was a missed opportunity.
I think Lana Wachowski was not super into making this movie, and that's fine. And like, but I think if they continue, they probably should go ahead and let someone else work with this property. Someone who's a fan, and someone who can, actually, someone who wants to give fans what they want. I think people really wanted action. I wanted that. I was a little disappointed in the action. Not bad, but I guess the first one being so hugely innovative in action, you can't come near it, can you?
No,
Yeah.
no, that's tough. And I think and that was their nod to him. Like the whole time he was trying to fly, but he couldn't fly. I think there was their nod to, we're not going to be able to live up to what we did before. So we're going to just have this like force push instead of being able to fly. Mike was saying the analyst implied that he provided all those updates to distract the masses, which again, that's what the Matrix is. And I really enjoyed that part with Niobe, Jada Pinkett Smith, when she's like, you hear that? And did you notice they did something with the sound at that point? I don't know if that was just the IMAX showing or the regular showing, where they somehow, when you do like room tone, somehow they said, do you hear that? And somehow they killed the sound to the point where it was complete silence, like true silence. Like I felt like I was in a sensory deprivation tank.
Yeah.
I felt, and like, because the Matrix is all about the distractions, basically overloading your senses to the point where you're never going to question reality when you're basically getting a water hose to the face. How can you have time to even question that that's anything is not real or real when you just have so many distractions? And they touched on that with, Trinity, when her family came in, and how hard would that be? So think about this. If you have to come in there and you're just like, you have this family, and somehow you have to take such a leap of faith that your family, your three kids, that to her, she's known them their whole life. She's given birth to three kids. Handsome Chad is her husband, and she
hates Handsome Chad.
Yeah, but you still have to take, even if she hates Handsome Chad, right? She has the three kids, and even they kind of made one of the kids kind of snotty or whatever. But it's still your kid that you have to somehow say, that's not real. I'm going to go jump off that building. That was the whole premise of Inception. She's like, I don't know what's real anymore. I can jump off this building, and it cost her life. That could have been the tragedy of the Matrix, of just like, psych, this was real, and we tricked you into killing yourself. And she had to take that leap of faith. That's not easy, to turn your back on your kids. Well, maybe some people do make it easy, but I'm just saying, in theory, on paper, it shouldn't be that easy to turn your back and just like, I'm going to go with this guy who's a really uber famous game designer and go jump off a building. BRB. Sorry, I can't go to the animal hospital with you.
It's definitely, in my opinion, after the first Matrix, it's probably the second best one for sure. And I'm sure I'm going to watch it at least 2 more times.
Yeah, I think you have to.
I don't know if if I'll venture out. I might, AMC stubs it or whatever. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Something about whatever went into making it just it didn't really gel, I thought. And I don't know if you felt this, but I thought like a lot of the stuff that was cool in the trailer, like the imagery that was cool in the trailer, when you saw it in context, it wasn't that cool.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Again,
I think it could have been reconfigured a little bit, and I think you wouldn't have felt what you're feeling. And I think I when I saw it, I knew it was going to be really divisive, I should say. Mike was saying, compared to all the other multiverse time travel going around, he was surprised on the simplicity of the approach, which it was kind of simple. Basically, like I said, NPH was a capitalist, and he's like, oh, you know what, architect, and your old version of the Matrix, you don't really get it. I got this new hotness, the new Matrix, and you were about choice, the illusion of choice. But I'm about, I'm really going to dig into the illusion of choice and manipulate the people, like manipulating the minds more so than the architect did. And they just kind of made it really simplified. Like when it boiled down to, it's just like, I'm just a guy that just saw an opportunity and I ran with it.
Yay, America. Look, I still had some
This is the blue Christmas beer. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna see more when rewatch it. I've already rewatched a few of the other breakdown videos. I'm not ready I'm gonna do it tonight. I thought I wasn't gonna do it tonight, but I think I am gonna do it tonight to see when it sinks in. Because full stop, full disclosure, I was confused as fuck in 1999 when I first saw The Matrix, and not since Pulp Fiction did I have that, what did I just watch? I didn't get it right out of the gate. I don't know if you got it, to the point where I didn't even go see it in the theater. I remember specifically not seeing it in the theater and everybody loving it, and I was like, I'll just wait till it's I can. And finally I was like, fine, I'll get it on pay-per-view. I actually was one of the few films I actually got on pay-per-view, and I watched it and I was like, what? I didn't get it. It took a lot of viewings to really. It took years to really absorb and rewatching it to get what the essence was. Because I guess in that first viewing, all I saw was, you know, man versus machine. I was just like, this is just another weird version of Terminator. I didn't really get the philosophy about it.
I mean, yeah, I guess when I first saw it, I wasn't really into all that philosophy or whatever. To me, it was more about a lot of the things that were sort of popular at the time with, outside of the mainstream, like, Hong Kong action cinema and like
Yeah.
anime and stuff. Folks didn't used to be as into anime as they are now. And those things were worked into a film, and I thought that was super cool. I got it, and I got it immediately the first time I saw it, but the thing that was really great was if you were following it and just watching the trailers, they didn't really reveal anything about the movie. So
Yeah.
it was a complete shock when you watch it for the first time.
Well, I think I could argue and self edit myself and realize that at the time when I first saw it, the Matrix still had a tighter hold on me. Where now, all these years, the Matrix is the illusion is starting to slip down for me in the reality that we live in. So maybe that's why I was a little bit more like, yes, feed me more. Mike was saying Bugs was a standout. Yeah, Bugs was great. Really enjoyed her. Like, if they are going to find a way, although the ending didn't feel like they can turn this into a trilogy. Like I said, they could have cleanly made this part 3 if they found a way to combine 2 and 3. As far as the new Morpheus, yeah, that's a big one for me. I mean, I love Yahya Abdul Mateen. I think he's great. It was a little weird to see him as Dr. Manhattan, but I'm just he's such a good actor. I'm totally cool with it.
He's on fire. They're putting him in everything now.
Yeah, they definitely are putting him in everything. I just wish they would. I thought he was great, and I wish they would have fleshed it out a little bit more on what would you even classify him as? Would you, because he just had this I am Morpheus moment, that I am Morpheus, but was he the essence of Morpheus? Because he wasn't Morpheus as we know him, because in the timeline of the story, Morpheus did become the leader of Zion, and eventually he became what could be argued as, I'm not going to go with science. I'm a religious zealot, and I'm just going to continue to believe that what Neo has done cannot be undone. So he leaned away from building bridges to the machines, and like, no, I'm not going to do that, and it cost him his life eventually. Right? They had the big statue up there.
Yeah.
So he's, that's why Lawrence Fishburne didn't return, because that version. But then what was Yahya? What was he? Like, he was the essence of Morpheus, and they didn't really.
But he was 50 Morpheus, 50 Smith.
Yeah, because he was also a Smith, right?
He was half and half. That's what I got from it.
But did he merge the code in his modal? And again, then maybe that's what I'm missing. That maybe I need to watch it again. If he was just they were running, Thomas was running this simulation to have a hint in there, but because they called him Smith too. So I don't know. It wasn't totally clear on what he was, and I wish that would have been
did you catch that when he takes the red pill? They're trying to escape. Was he acting like drunk? Was he acting stoned or something? There was like just a weird moment there.
He had a couple of those weird moments, right? Where he just, like, when he showed up in the construct and he kind of danced, a little bit. And then in the Kung Fu thing, he just got right into like the fighting. But yeah, he had a few of those moments. He's a great actor. And I just wish they could have just like fleshed out his story a little bit more. Unless we're looking, maybe that's the problem with films like this. You want everything to have deeper meaning, but maybe there wasn't a deeper meaning to it. I don't know. Mike thinks he felt he was Neo's first architect moment, where he was actually trying to, again, call back to Dr. Manhattan. I think I'm going to leave this universe and I'm going to go create life in a different universe. Maybe that was Neo playing with creating life. The way he just like coded, Morpheus in there, and like, but he didn't. That one was a little bit closer to then, because they never really acknowledged. Right? I think Bugs just said, "No, that's Trinity," but something looks different. It all looks a little different, and they couldn't figure out why. So I don't know. I think they could have, again, the stuff that they wasted on, like you said, just too much of the cat tricks, meta, wink, wink. They could have just made that into the montage and fleshed out a little bit more, because Morpheus is too important of a character to just kind of make those like leaps of faith like that. Same thing with Smith. They could have fleshed those two. I was very happy the way how they fleshed out what happened to Trinity, and how they put her in there as Tiffany. That made total sense to me. They showed the resurrection. They showed that was kind of like the horror movie aspect of the Matrix, right? When they actually showed the machines repairing them. It
Yeah.
had the brain and the eye, and they were repairing everything. They were literally
The
brought
body
them.
horror.
Yeah, they were literally brought them back to life, and it's just like, wow. So the machines have evolved to the point where they could resurrect people because they were both clearly dead, not dead in the Matrix, dead in real life. Trinity was impaled, and Neo was basically cru- digitally crucified. I don't know if that was the right word,
like that.
but they resurrected them both. But again, I this is going to take many, many more viewings, and I'm glad they did it. I don't know if I necessarily need to see it more. I don't know if I need to see any more. Like, there was a lot of people who felt that about, you know, just the first three, but let's face it, the third one out of all the Matrixes was weak. They had great little Last Jedi moments where they had the nuggets of good stuff in there, but that was the weakest. And did you want for a property that's so powerful and so iconic and changed filmmaking as we know it to go out on kind of a perp, or did they have just like give it a chance to really go out on something stronger?
I mean, I preferred Revolutions to Reloaded. I thought it was a better movie overall. I mean, I think either those had to be somehow either merged into one film or split into its own trilogy somehow. Just there was something wrong with the way those films were constructed. But
Oh yeah, they shot those back to back.
Yeah.
I remember they shot them back to back and then released it. Had a specific. I think the actual last one was released on the Back to the Future Day, which was what is that, November 5th or November 6th? It was actually released on that Back to the Future Day, which, again, in this Matrix where you and I actually live, I thought that was nice poetry, as George Lucas would say. Poetry, this stuff has to rhyme. That you had two time manipulating movies released like that.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, they could have combined two or three and they could have made this the cap off. Mike thinks this felt like a table setter for a new trilogy, and it could be. And again, this was definitely a sequel boot in a sense that it really did play up to the nostalgia and I had no problems with any of the new characters introduced. I had no problems with if you want to go forward with Yaya and it's going to be like a new version of Morpheus and the new Smith, and then you still have Neo and Trinity, and then you have Bugs, and then you had the Sensei crew in there. I had no problems with any of them. NPH was fantastic. I'd love to see him continuing as a villain, the architect, because this was great because basically that moment of truth at the end when you're going to have, okay, this is the part when you say, we're not doing it your way anymore. We're doing it my way. And he's like, he was heavy. He basically said, heavy is the head that wears the throne. You think you want to change this, but you don't. And it's not as easy. You think, I'm really good at this. I'm good at manipulating people's minds and what they think. You're going to go out there and paint the sky with rainbows and it's going to blow up in your face. So, heck, good luck to you. You're in charge now. Good luck. I thought that was cool.
what about when she punched him and his jaw flew off?
Yeah, that was awesome. And then the throat slice, and then the digital stuff came in. I thought that was cool too. Again, I always lean more towards the philosophy than the actual war stuff. But that being said, two of my favorite things that came out of this were swarm mode and bot bombs. Swarm mode and bot bombs were great. Because I was just like, wow, that's really awesome. It's just like, this isn't going to be, I'm going to just take over a body and take, like, he was literally turned them into human kamikaze pilots where they were just like, the guy jumped out of bed and I'm like, why are they zooming in on this guy who's just in bed with this random woman? And then you saw his eyes go into, bot bomb, dive out the window and just like was dive bombing. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of good stuff in it. There was I don't know. As far as a new trilogy, I guess that's going to depend on the box office receipts, I guess. But I think Matrix is another one where if you move forward, give us a show.
Yeah. Yeah, a show would. I think a show would be really, really beneficial more than a film on this. Absolutely, this could be a now. If you're telling me that this is a launching point for a 10 episode series, like, and they were trendsetters back then, right? The Animatrix was the version of just like we're going to tell you these six standalone stories in a show rather than in the film, and that actually was canon to the film, and to the point where even in the game too, right? That Morpheus died in the. Oh, that's right, because he died in the game.
Does he? I didn't realize he does.
Yeah, he died. If you watch that, he actually died in the Matrix Online game, and that became canon, and that's where he died. So he didn't die. Actually, I took, I got confused because I know he died. They showed him in there, but they didn't say how he died. He actually died in the Matrix Online game. So go with the series, go with the TV show. That's fine because there's a lot of stuff that still needs to be fleshed out. But I saw a lot of stuff talking about digital zombies because basically swarm mode became zombies, right? They became the Matrix zombies. But I don't know. I thought that was really great because if you were an architect, right? If you were the analyst and you created this, you are basically the god of this world, and that's how you have the ability to basically go into and create. I don't know what would happen if that happened in real life. If our creator all of a sudden turned into swarm mode, and you started getting attacked by random people like that. But does that happen?
Yeah.
It could. I don't know. Like I said, it could be argued. Like, can you tell me without a shadow of a doubt that every person that is walking this planet right now is actually a player that, like, I'm a person and I realize I'm a person, or is it I'm a lion and I'm just going to do lion shit? There's got to be some people that are just like, I'm a person, I'm just going to do people shit. Maybe they don't look in the mirror and say, oh, wow, I am a person. What does that mean for the rest of the planet? But then again, we can't even prove anything outside of what we're looking at right now even exists. It renders when we walk out the door.
True that.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
All right, so that's the
Got on a
Matrix
rant.
Resurrections. Matrix Resurrections.
Yes.
Review.
I know we went. How long? We didn't even get to Christmas trivia, and we went a long time.
We haven't done Christmas trivia. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a while. Do you want to do a Be Right Back?
Yeah, let's do a BRB. And Mike, stick around if you want to see some Christmas trivia. But yeah, that was fun. Sorry, I get it really wrapped up. I gotta wipe the green coat off my face.
All right, let's be right back.
back. So, sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at our Twitter feed, and I guess I should apologize in advance. I've never started a Twitter flame war like this.
What happened?
I don't know. We're kind of baby faces on Twitter, so we never really got it. All I did was retweet the Multiverse of Madness trailer, like from the official Doctor Strange and MCU, and somebody like jumped in and said, I'll let you go to our Twitter feed at Dose Incredibles and read it, but it was like, for the love of God, no more Spider-Man. He's been in like the last 7 films, and someone's like, you don't know what you're talking about. What about the Eternals, Shang-Chi, Black Widow? He wasn't in any of these, and he's the number. And it's just like, oh shit, what's happening right now? And they're like, yeah, get him. And I'm like, whoa, what's happening? I just wanted to share a trailer. Benedict Cumberbatch just being a nice little wizard that's going to save the world. I'm signing, you're signing, we're all signing. But no, it turned into a war. So check it out on our page, but sorry about that. Now I feel
trying to pull that up, but
I feel like Len Thinpig from the Warriors. That's a deep cut. For all you Warriors, sorry about that. Oh yeah, there's the ding. All right.
You heard a ding?
I heard a ding. Yep. It's kind of a distance ding, but it is a ding. That thing, yeah, Mike, and we were just talking about that. It was another cut. Nice man in a camper wants to sign our and listen to our music, sign our band. I'm signing, you're signing, we're all signing. The secret on the DL, one of the Tom Hanks' best work. He was a great director on that. And I love that film. Anyway, all right. So, 'tis the season, as you can see by all our, what would you call this? Holiday swag, tinsel, Christmas decorations. Are you allowed to say Christmas decorations?
Christmas cheer is back.
Christmas cheer is back too. All right, but yeah, because I didn't know if we call these like holiday lights. But I don't know. Do you get insulted if somebody just has a well wishing for you, if it has nothing to do with the denomination of your choice? Like, wouldn't you be like, hey, thanks for thinking about me at least? I mean, it's not right. I wouldn't. If someone came up to me and said, Joyous Kwanzaa, I'm not going to flip. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I didn't get you anything, though.
It's all a work. I guess that's the wrestling. It's the wrestling thing. It's all a work anyway. I'm not going to go down that simulation thing. DX Snowman, that's right. Yes, that Snowman does do a crotch chop. So, all right. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We've done Halloween trivia, Thanksgiving trivia. It's time for Christmas trivia. And by holiday, I mean Halloween movie, Thanksgiving movies, and now we have to do the trifecta. We need to do the Christmas movie trivia. So, are you ready?
Ding means yes.
I said, are you ready? All right. It's a double ding. All right. So I have a couple of different ones. We didn't even get to talk about Terror Tuesday, but that's okay. Oh, there it is. I heard the ding in the cup.
Ding's back.
Ding is back. Ding is back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So let's get into, I have a couple of different I basically have almost 200 questions here, which is funny. Did you know Reader's Digest actually had a website? To get the Reader's Digest version, you remember Reader's Digest?
They have a site? I thought that was just a tiny magazine that came in the mail.
Yeah, no, apparently it is rd.com, Reader's Digest, and they have 125 Christmas movie trivia questions with answers to test your festive film IQ. I have that. I also have another 101 Holly Jolly Christmas movie trivia. There's a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to jump around, and I am going to give you the option to pass because some of these are very specific to movies, to specific movies.
I will accept that option.
Yeah, so you may want to be like, nah, I'm good, dog. I don't need that. And I know there was another. You can actually go through, and you get to guess what the movie is based on like the premise of it. So it says. All right, I'll edit that part out. How many of these Christmas movie trivia questions can you get right? Classic. So we have the classic. We'll start with the classic Christmas movie trivia. And obviously, everybody knows when you're classics, you're talking about the 1946 It's a Wonderful Life. For those of you who don't know, before there was cable and you just had free air TV, this was what they showed for 24 hours instead of A Christmas Story. Right?
Which one? It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, it's like public domain, right? So that's why it ended up getting shown everywhere.
Yeah, so it was everywhere. So
Just like Night of the Living Dead.
yes, yeah. Actually, this is the Christmas version of the night. Well, Mario, that's a really good comparison there. That was, I don't know. Yeah.
Quiz show! Doing trivia!
Motherfucking trivia about Christmas movies, yeah! I don't know if that was.
Oh, yeah. See, it's winding down now. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Bam!
Well, it's almost there. There would have been a lot of highlights we could have talked. Maybe we should have planned this out.
Christmas lights, fuck yeah! Yeah, I don't know. Next time we'll actually plan the song out. All right, so I'm going to give you some. First one. Wonderful Life, 1946. What's the name of the guardian angel who takes George Bailey on his journey?
Is it, Michael?
Incorrect. That is an angel, though, right? That was John Travolta.
I feel like it was a really common name, but I can't.
Yeah.
I've actually never watched It's a Wonderful Life all the way.
Oh, then we can. I don't know if we can do that. His name was Clarence. Well,
Clarence, obviously, Clarence.
Yes. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Do you think you could get the...
Still do them.
You want to go for it? Yeah, because, I mean, we got tons of movies here. Frank, you killed actors. Good ones. All right, who directed It's a Wonderful Life?
That would be director Frank Capra.
Yes, correct. Frank Capra directed It's a Wonderful Life. What's that? Why is his name slipping my mind? The actor.
Jimmy Stewart?
Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, I don't know. I always think of, I see Dana Carvey imitating Jimmy Stewart. All right. Why is George ineligible for service in World War II?
Bad feet.
Incorrect. Diagnosis? Bad feet. No, it's actually he's deaf in one ear.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll do one more. These are tough. What's the name of the town It's a Wonderful Life takes place in?
Man, I have no idea. This is shot in the dark.
It's a two word.
Yeah.
The second word is falls.
Pleasant Falls.
Incorrect. It was close though. Bedford Falls. Yeah,
Bedford
I wouldn't
Falls.
be able to get any of the It's a Wonderful Life. I would not be able to get any. So hats off that you got one. All right, let's move to the next film in the Christmas classics. This came up in one of our other quizzes. Oh, yeah, in our Thanksgiving movie quiz. This one is 1 year later was the release of Miracle on 34th Street. Would you like to pursue any of the questions on Miracle on 34th Street? Because they're pretty, like, on-the-nose questions. Like, you got to know.
I'll try one.
All right, I'm going to give you one that I think out of any of them that you might get. What famous actress played the character Susan Walker? And I'm going to try to give you a hint. Here's the thing. Let's try this because this one's really tough. I'm going to give you a hint, and it's going to help. This actress... Do you want a hint?
Yeah,
I guess I
take a
should
hint.
ask. All right. This actress... Oh, man.
Shirley Temple.
No. I was going to... If I say it too much, you're clearly going to get it, and it's going to make it a slam dunk. So we're going to make it a little bit... Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my hint. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. For the question, which famous actress played Susan Walker?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the clue?
Yes. What famous actress played Susan Walker... ... Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I can't even think of the name of the woman in It's Upon a Time in Hollywood. Sharon Tate.
No, yeah,
but that was...
I guess this was a bad hint. Never mind. It was Natalie Wood. She was referenced in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
They referenced a lot of shit.
Yeah, I know everything they referenced was Hollywood. Let's jump off of that one. That one's a really, really hard one. This one, the only one I would have been able to get is that somehow it had something to do with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Why does Kris Kringle have to fill in as Santa during the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Sorry, I did jump. I was going to give you one more.
Why does he have to fill in?
Yeah, the actual real Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, fills in and shows up in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade because Santa Claus is always at the end.
Because the other Santa got sick?
Yes, close. What was the sickness? Mike got it. Mike nailed it.
Drunk. That's funny.
Is that a sickness? Drunkenness. Yes, town drunk.
Well, you could do that back in the days. That was just the premise of a movie or of an episode of TV. Right. Dick Van Dyke is just drunk in this one.
Yeah, the whole time.
In the whole episode, he's just drunk.
It's like, oh my God, he's so drunk he tripped over the ottoman. Keep it. That shit's hilarious. All right, so let's jump to, which is still a long time ago, if you do the math, 1983. You already know where I'm going. And some of these are going to be very easy. What Christmas movie was released in 1983? I think you know this one.
Christmas movie released in 1983?
Yeah.
I'm going to say A Christmas Story.
Correct. Yes, it was released in 1983. There was a sequel to it, right? A Summer Story that didn't really hit, right?
It's called, but it's not called a Summer Story. It's called like Going All the Way or something. Probably not that, but it's a phrase. We'll look that up.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work, or whatever it was. But then again, we talked about this on one of our last podcasts. Oh yeah, we were talking, was it Krampus, right? A lot of these Christmas movies that we love bombed. They all bombed. There's not many of them that, Elf didn't bomb, but the rest of them, most of them bombed. So, understandable. All right. I'm not going to give you a Red Ryder BB gun. Obviously, that's pretty easy. What was the name of Ralphie's younger brother?
Oh, man. I just watched it the other day.
Eating the potatoes like a little piggy.
I remember that part. I can't recall his name. Ralphie is the older one.
Yes. Would you like a hint?
Yeah, I need a hint.
It starts with the same letter as Ralphie.
Randy,
correct. Randy is the name of it. Randy, what's the matter? Dad's gonna kill Ralphie. You're getting ready for the 24-hour marathon. All right, this one's a fun one because I love the way that he delivered the line. And did he direct Elf? No, he was in Elf. What movie did he direct?
Who?
The actor who plays Ralphie. He's a director. I know he's really good friends with Vince Vaughn, and he's been in.
Oh, I think he. I don't know if he directed films. He used to direct TV.
Yeah, he did. He was a director too. All right, next question. What was the secret message Ralphie deciphered from the Little Orphan Annie's radio show? Remember, he got super angry over it.
It was, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
Yes, correct. We'll give you that. Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Ovaltine?
Be sure to. Yeah, that's right. He's like, be sure. Be sure to what?
Yes. It's like a marketing ploy, and he gets pissed. All right. You're going to... this one's pretty easy. What prize does Ralphie's dad win in a contest? It's a big reward.
Yes, we're not even going to do the clock for this one because that's the leg lamp.
Yeah, leg lamp. Lamp shaped like a woman's leg in a fishnet stocking. All right, this next one, let's see. This one might be tough. What are the name of the bullies who terrorize Ralphie and his friends? One of them you're going to get. The second one's going to be tough. Fun fact, one of them follows, I think he follows me on Twitter, but he doesn't, he's pretty active on Twitter.
Scott Fargus.
Yes, that's one. I don't think you're going to get this other one. Sorry. I'll give you a hint.
Let's have a hint.
Yes. Blue Muppet in Sesame Street.
Gonzo something?
Oh. No. Well, yeah. So you get 50% on that. It was Scott Farkas and Grover Dill. Did I say the Muppet Show instead of Sesame Street?
You said Muppet Show.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I should have said Sesame
But there's no
Street.
way I was getting that. I never heard his name.
Grover Dill. Yeah, I don't think he did. Here's a tough one. Who gifts Ralphie the pink bunny onesie for Christmas?
Aunt Peggy?
Aunt Clara.
Aunt Clara.
Yeah, he looks like a pink nightmare. Oh, yeah, you're going to get this one. We'll read it just because it's fun. What does Santa say to Ralphie when he says he wants a BB gun for Christmas?
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You shoot your eye out, kid. I actually have the I have the Christmas ornament of that scene, and it's awesome. It actually has Santa Claus's head on Ralphie's Santa Claus's foot on Ralphie's head. All right. Speaking of leg lamp, finish this quote from Ralphie's dad. Fragile.
Must be Italian.
Must be Italian. Correct. I already kind of spoiled this one. How does Ralphie's mom get Randy to eat dinner?
Yeah, you already did the whole bit.
Yeah, we did the whole bit. Ralphie gets in trouble when he repeats a swear word he claims to have heard from his friend Schwartz. However, he actually heard the word from someone else. Who did he hear it from?
From the old man.
From the old man. Correct. Yes, and that was fudge. But he didn't say fudge. All right, jump ahead to 1990. What movie am I going to talk about? Christmas movie in 1990.
Scrooged.
No. Was that 90?
don't know.
I guess you say this is a kid's Christmas movie.
Home Alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say the hint was gonna be what you really nailed it. Die Hard for kids. All right, so we'll do some 1990 Home Alone, which was like the #1 comedy of all time for a long time. In which state was Home Alone filmed? The same state he does all his movies in.
Spring.
The state, yeah.
Illinois.
Illinois, correct. All right, we'll cruise through these. Where is the McAllister family planning to spend Christmas?
Is it France?
Correct, Paris, France. We don't know what he does for a living, but he's taking like 10 kids to Paris.
And their parents and everybody.
Their parents, yeah. So,
And buying them pizza.
yeah. So we're not sure what he does for a living. Oh, this one is actually going to be a tough one. I don't think I can get it. What is the name of the traveling polka band Kevin's mom Kate travels with on her way home to Kevin?
Polka Kings. The Polka King.
No, is it? I want to say you're right, and this is not right. They say it's the Kenosha Kickers, but I thought it was the polka. Was John Candy the Polka King? Is this one in dispute? It says the Kenosha Kickers.
That could be right.
Oh, all right. Pretty close. All right, we'll give you a ground ball after that one. Tough one. What is the nickname of the pair of burglars that tries to break into the McAllisters' home?
Wet Bandits.
Wet Bandits. Oh, yeah. Mike confirmed. He did research it for us. Yes, it is the Kickers. Yeah, Wet Bandit is correct. This one I totally got wrong because I just said 10 kids. How many siblings does Kevin have?
He has 2 siblings.
Incorrect. He has 4 siblings. I did not know that.
4 siblings.
Yeah,
I
4
just
siblings.
remember Buzz.
Yeah, Buzz. And then
Actually, I just remember Buzz.
well, Kieran Culkin was in it too, right? Wasn't that one of his?
But that was his cousin.
Oh, it was a cousin. It wasn't a sibling. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Oh yeah, Mike confirmed he was the Polka King of Kenosha, and that's why he was the Kenosha Kickers. All right. We already spoiled this one. What comedian plays Gulf Polanski, the polka musician who helps Kate?
Dr. John Candy.
Dr. John. He's a doctor? Doctor, and doctor. How is Kevin punished after getting into a fight with his older brother Buzz?
I feel like he was sent to bed without supper.
You're close. If you guess where he was sent, you're halfway there. He was sent somewhere. Where was he sent?
He was sent to sleep in the attic?
Yes, he was sent to sleep in the attic. What a bizarre punishment.
Go sleep in the attic.
Yeah, especially
That's a legit punishment because up there it gets super cold in there.
yeah, no shit. Or if it was like, and that house clearly could have been like a house on Haunted Hill. Like, I'm not going in the attic. All right. Why were the McAllisters running late the morning of their trip to Paris?
Power outage.
Power outage is correct. This one's really easy, but I'll still. What actor plays Harry Lime, one of the two burglars?
Daniel Stern.
You're the other one.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. Yeah, Harry. I don't remember what the other one, Daniel Stern's character's name was. All right. Yeah, and then we have. Oh, yeah, yes, I'll get you this last one. Who does the old man Marley reunite with at the end of this movie?
His son.
His son, correct. And that is trivia for Home Alone. All right, let's
Ride for babies.
fast forward.
By the way, if you're watching this and you want to see the inspiration for
Merv.
Home Alone, it's on Shudder right now. It's called Deadly Games.
Okay.
100% the inspiration for Home Alone.
Oh, yes. I'm going to put a clip on there from that. That should be good. Deadly Games. All right. Let's fast forward. Now, this next film is interesting because this one, we always, we talked about the debate of is Die Hard a Christmas movie, is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie. This one is, what would you consider this to be more, which holiday is this movie more reflective of, Halloween or Christmas? And this is a 1993 stop motion classic.
Now, is this a trivia question?
No, I just made it up. Yeah, it is a trivia question. I'm just curious if you knew a stop motion movie from 1993.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Would you say it has Christmas in the title, but it obviously he's from Halloween Town. So is this a Halloween movie or is this a Christmas movie? Because one of the most famous songs in this Christmas movie is "This is Halloween, this is Halloween." I think Tim Burton found a way to do both.
I mean, he also did that with Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, yes.
That's kind of a Christmas movie.
That is kind of a Christmas movie. Yeah, that's actually, that's on my list too.
He should do a shoot Christmas movie. Why has Tim Burton ever done a shoot Christmas movie?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like he could nail it.
I think this is the only Christmas movie.
Give Tim Burton the Santa Claus movie.
Oh,
can you get me in a room? Can you get me in a room?
I think we need to compile. I think for next year's New Year's show, we compile all our pitches and we just put it out into the universe and see if we can make that happen.
Yes, he's right. Mike says Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
Oh yes,
so is a Christmas movie. Give Tim Burton the shoot Santa Claus movie where we do like a realistic Santa Claus, like you would do like a realistic Batman.
Yeah. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. I get because he hasn't made anything in a while, right?
He's always working. I feel like he makes stuff. He'll go a few years and have no hits, and he'll make something that makes $1 billion.
Yeah,
like, it's no big deal.
No, I love his vibe. I know they've been teasing the Beetlejuice sequel for how long now? A long time. And then Michael Keaton got hot again, and then it came up again. So I don't know. I'd love to see it. All right. Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993. First question. What's Jack Skellington's nickname in Halloween Town?
All right, here's something else you don't know about me.
Yes.
Never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Shit. No?
I've never seen it, no.
Oh, man. You're missing out. It's what you would expect Tim Burton in a stop-motion
The thing is, I could never decide whether it's a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie, so I'd try to watch it Halloween and not get to it, and say, well, I'll just watch it at Christmas, but then I forget at Christmas. So it never gets watched.
This is the Razzles. Remember that candy, Razzles? This is the Razzles of movies. When they're like, is it candy? Is it gum? Is it Halloween? Is Christmas? Stop. You're both right. It's both.
So I've never seen A Nightmare Before Christmas.
All right, so you're not going to get this. So we were going to talk about Jack Skellington's nickname in Halloween Town. This is the gourd that represents the holiday of Halloween Town. That's my hint.
Jack Pumpkin?
You lost your gourd? Yeah, close. The Pumpkin King. So there's no way you're going to get this. But one of my favorite questions that would have been in this is, what does Jack call Santa Claus?
Sandy Claus.
Yes. Who is this Sandy Claus? That's good that you never saw it and you got it. So
I walked into it as a Hot Topic one time and I saw it on a shirt.
Sandy Claus. Yeah, that's it. Do you remember the name of Jack's ghost dog? It's also on shirts.
The dog, no.
No, it's Zero. All right, we'll skip the rest of them. They're good. I highly recommend you watching Nightmare Before Christmas. I wasn't as
I will get to it next Halloween.
I wasn't I wasn't as into the Corpse's Bride as I was the Nightmare Before Christmas.
You know what I was into? Frankenweenie.
Oh yes, Frankenweenie. They did stop
the original. No, the original.
not the stop motion when it was his short film, right?
Yeah, he did like a short film for
black and white.
for Disney Channel. Yeah.
Yes, Frankenweenie. That was always a great title. All right, remember what you just said about Nightmare Before Christmas? I think I can probably say the same thing about the Santa Claus. If I saw it, I don't remember much about it. So this next block of questions is all about the Santa Claus. Would you like to continue or would you like to pass? You want to go?
That means I'd like to go.
All right.
Is it wait the Santa Claus? We're talking about the Tim Allen trilogy.
1994 Tim Allen. I don't even know if it gets into the trilogy. I know later on Martin Short was like Jack Frost. I think this just focuses on part one.
Santa Claus I have seen.
Okay. First question. What is Scott Calvin's job at the beginning of the movie? It kind of makes sense in fall now. Now that I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, that makes sense for this person to have this job if he's going to become Santa Claus.
He's something with planes.
Toy salesman.
Toy salesman.
Yeah, toy salesman.
I guess Santa doesn't have planes.
Yeah. Yes, the reindeers fly. And you know reindeers are the most sustainable food? I don't remember that quote from Krampus. I tried. All right, next up, what is the name of the head elf at the North Pole? Yeah, Mike got it. Yeah, it was the salesman for the toys company. But the name of the head elf. The head
Sherman?
Sure. No, it's Bernard. Yes, Bernard. What was the name of the head elf in Rudolph, the one that wanted to become a dentist?
That wasn't a head elf. He was.
Oh, he was just a
was
elf.
it Ned?
Yeah. Sounds like a dentist name, Ned. All right. Okay. This one I would have got, so
Ned
you will
the
get
elf
it.
Dentist.
This one, that's what always struck me about this movie is like, this feels like it should be a lot, and it was kind of dark. Why must Scott take over for the role of Santa Claus?
Because Santa Claus dies.
Yes. He falls off his roof, right?
I guess technically they kill him.
Yeah.
Because they distracted him.
So that's what I mean. So that's why he's responsible for it. I was like, that's kind of dark, right? It's a little dark.
I mean, yeah. What did they do with the body? Or does it just disappear or what?
I don't know. I don't remember much about it. I just remember it's like, I don't want to watch a movie where Santa falls off the roof.
That could have been a totally different movie if Tim Allen would have been like,
Clever
we have to
Dad.
hide the body because I have cocaine in my under my bed. So then it just devolves into a whole scene of them cutting up Santa Claus with a chainsaw in the garage and getting rid of the body parts. Then they have to still deliver the toys because they don't want anyone to catch on that Santa Claus is dead.
That he's actually dead.
Right, but the whole time we just murdered and chopped up that guy.
Do you have a 500-gallon tub of acid I can borrow? No, Mike confirmed he just disappears. All right. Where does Scott... Oh, come on, RD. Who is your copywriter? Where does Scott and Charlie go? Oh, no, it's where do Scott and... Why can't I read? I'm going to edit all this out. It's going to sound great. Where do Scott and Charlie go after Scott burns the Christmas Eve turkey? To the basement and beyond.
I want to say, is it IHOP
Sorry,
or Denny's?
Mike.
IHOP or Denny's?
It's Denny's, correct.
Those are interchangeable.
Yeah. So
depending
sorry.
what part of the country you're in.
Mike got the pop when he said to the basement and beyond, which I didn't know they're making a Buzz Lightyear movie, and it's just called like Lightyear or something. But it's like it's the character that's based on the toy from Pixar, and it's going to be Chris Evans as the actual Buzz Lightyear. Did you know that?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What's the first
I never thought I want to know more about Buzz Lightyear.
What's the backstory?
I just want to know I want to know the backstory of not even really his backstory, but the backstory that.
But I tell you what, if they did a Buzz,
I don't even get what that movie is.
If they did a Buzz and Woody in the vein of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I'd watch.
Yeah,
I'd watch. All right, what is the first obstacle Scott faces in the first house he visits on Christmas Eve?
The chimney's too small.
No, this one says large dog, but I don't know. I didn't see it, so I don't know if it's right. What job does Charlie's stepfather have?
He's a therapist.
Correct. Yeah, psychiatrist. Close enough. All right. Laura and Neil call the police because they think Scott has kidnapped Charlie, but in reality, where did Charlie go?
North Pole.
Correct. What magical object did Bernard give Charlie?
What did he give him?
I think, yeah, it's pretty pivotal. It's a Christmas type gift that you would have. I can probably give you a hint.
Let's have the hint.
Yes, this gift is prominent in the end of Krampus.
Oh boy.
Did that help?
I can't think of it.
The answer is snow globe.
Snow globe.
Snow globe, yes. I do remember snow globe somehow. How many Santa Claus movies are there?
3?
3. Yeah, the answer is 3. But I actually wanted to know that as well. Yes, snow globe. All right. Next up, we move to what would be considered funny Christmas. That's what a burn on Santa Claus. Because the next section is funny Christmas movies, and the Santa Claus was not in that. Burn! All right, so first one obviously became a classic pretty quick. 2003 is a long time ago,
Elf.
too. Yeah, Elf. Elf is correct. Which is really strong. But the end, to me, it was just like I remember struggling at the end. So, anyway, all right. First question. Oh, come on. I'm not going to read that. Who plays Buddy the Elf? You know, it's Will Ferrell. Not reading that one. What city does Buddy travel to find his dad?
New York.
New York, yeah. All right. This one I will read. Question. How did Buddy get to the North Pole as a baby?
Did he wasn't he in the bag of toys or something?
Yes, he crawled into the bag of toys. Correct. That is correct. Oh, I lost my spot. All right. What is the name of Buddy's half brother?
His half brother. He has a half brother in the North Pole.
Mike never watched Elf. No, he has it's what's his name? It's Santino from Godfather's son that he had later on when he got married. It's his brother. Remember? That's technically his brother, his half brother.
I have no idea.
He's the one that he helped with the snowball fight.
I have no idea what his name is.
All right, his name is Michael.
What is it?
Michael.
Okay.
My hint was going to be Grease too.
Awesome trivia.
Yes. Hello, Michael Carrington. All right. Let's see. Why does Santa's sleigh crash in Central Park?
There's a character in Elf named Michael. That's the trivia question.
You know?
A non-essential side character named Michael.
This one kind of makes sense. There's a reason why Santa's sleigh does crash. And it's surprisingly, okay, here's my hint. It is also the same problem that they were facing in Ghostbusters 2, and they solved it in a very similar way, which I did not realize until this very second.
Wait, what's the question?
Why does Santa's sleigh crash in Central Park? And then it just hit me. Holy shit. It's the same problem they had in Ghostbusters 2.
Not enough positive vibes?
Yes, because it's not enough Christmas spirit. And both those problems were solved with singing.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I just never even put those two together till this very second. You heard it here first. Dose Incredibles Network exclusive. Ghostbusters 2 is canon to Elf.
So there's an Elf verse? Or is
gotta be
Elf
an
in
Elf.
the Ghostbusters verse?
I think Elf is in the Ghostbusters universe. All right, next question. This one.
Ghostbusters versus Santa Claus. There's a pitch.
Well, there is a pitch, right? The
Because
ghost.
Santa Claus might be a ghost, right?
Yeah, is all I needed to hear was Saint Nicholas is the ghost.
No,
of
wait.
Chris-
Ghostbusters and Scrooge.
Yes. Oh, because Bill Murray's in both of them.
That's right.
There it is.
Ghostbusters and Scrooge.
There it is.
So you have Bill Murray as the executive, and the ghosts come to visit him, and he calls the Ghostbusters.
Yes, I like it. I'm in. Here's my money. Here's my money. This was actually a really funny line, but it's actually tough to want to get. We'll see. What are the four main food groups for elves?
Um, sugar is one.
I mean, all the things have sugar
Spaghetti.
in it.
Sugar, spaghetti, and I think he just eats sugar spaghetti is all I know.
Really?
Sugar, spaghetti, maple syrup, and
So close.
candy canes.
So close. It's candy, candy corn, candy canes, and syrup. Yes. Oh, Mike was close. Yeah, 3 out of 4. Wow, Mandel. Yeah. Candy, candy corn, candy canes, and syrup. There is a toy that Buddy does not like. Do you remember that toy?
Jack in the Box.
Yes, correct. Do you
You
know?
know, there's a scene in Elf where he's like those scenes where he's like wandering around the city. Oh wait, you saw the same show I did. That guy that
The movies that made us.
he calls Santa is actually that was just like they just got that on the fly.
Yeah, he's just put that was basically IT ambush for Elf. It's like dress up like this elf and we'll just film a bunch of stuff. And he started doing the gum eating, man. Oof. That gum eating was still tough to watch.
Oof.
All right, here's a couple of ones that might be tough because I didn't remember her name. It's another name person. What is the name of Buddy's love interest? I really can't say because I don't remember it. I don't remember. I'm going to just bail you out. It's Jovi? Really?
Jovi?
Jovi? G-O-V-I-E? I had no idea. Is that supposed to be a take on Jovial? I don't know.
Has to be.
All right. And do you remember the name of the department store that Buddy gets a job at?
Sheckies.
Sheckies. It's Gimbals, but Sheckies is pretty funny. All right. On to the next movie. In the comedy section is this 1989. I guess it's a classic now, right? Yeah, it's a classic.
89?
Yeah.
It's a classic year.
Yeah, it's classic. It's the National Lampoon's Bon Jovial. Oh, there's a Christmas character for you, John Bon Jovial.
That's pretty good.
That's a Mike. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, 1989. All right, ready?
Bring it. I just saw this recently too.
All right, so
they
you might get it.
had the Christmas films running in the background. Do you have any questions about Friday After Next? That's also a Christmas movie.
Friday After Next is Christmas.
Yeah, it's really good. Add it to your playlist.
I like it. I'm still waiting for the part 4 and calling it the last Friday, right? For that play on word, just to do the play on words.
Yeah.
That would be great. But yeah, no, I'd like all the Fridays. I didn't know the last one was a Christmas movie, but I think now that you say that, it's right. All right, this first one's pretty easy. I think you're going to get it. We're going to skip it because obviously it's a big part of where the Griswolds, they live in Chicago. This one's tough. What's the name of Clark's boss?
It's Brian Doyle Murphy.
Yes, I'm going to give you that because that's close enough.
Brian Doyle
Because that
Murray.
would have been a better question than saying Frank Shirley. Brian Doyle Murray was
Mr.
the name.
Shirley.
Yes, Mr. Shirley.
Mr. Shirley, yes. Should have it.
Yes. All right. Next question. Instead of cash, what does Clark's boss give him as a Christmas bonus?
A membership to the Jelly of the Month Club.
Correct. I thought that was always good. Oh, deep cut. If you get this, deep cut. Which magazine is Clark trying to read with sticky fingers in bed?
Oh.
That is so crazy.
I don't even know. It's being shot in the dark.
Yeah, just do the. It's a very common magazine. That's all. Or if magazines still exist. Not Playboy.
Life?
Close. People.
People.
Yeah. It's either going to be People, Time, or Life, right? All right. This one could be tough because, it's a big theme. They always changed who played Rusty and who played, what was his sister name? Not Dana. Is it Dana?
No, it's Rusty and Audrey.
Audrey. Oh, but one of the actresses was named Dana. They always change them. So
Yeah.
this one actually became, I guess, somewhat the second most famous Rusty. Do you know the actor who played this Rusty in this film?
Um,
Because we know it was Juliette Lewis played Audrey in this, and
it
but
was Jonathan Galecki or
yes,
whatever.
correct. Yeah, I thought that was because he was in Roseanne later on or something, right? But
And then he was on Big Bang Theory
Big
now.
Bang. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I didn't. I thought sitcoms pretty much died for me. I think Friends might have been the last thing.
Are they still on? Do they have sitcoms
They
on all the
still
time?
are on. I mean, I think they do these weird versions of like sequel boots, but of sitcoms. But like, yeah, I never got into Bing Bang. I never got into Too Many Men. Well, not too many. Two and a Half Men. Not Too Many Men.
Yeah.
That's a song.
Men Math.
Yes. I'm not gonna do Who Plays Cousin Eddie. On what date? Oh, eh. Well, we'll get one more. Who tosses the match in the storm drain, causing the explosion? Oh, that's a hard one too. Why did I pick that one? Of all the ones to pick, but I knew you were gonna get Who Played Cousin Eddie.
Who tosses the match?
Yes.
Is
From the
it
explosion. How are they related? You don't even have to get their name. How are they related?
Uncle?
Yeah, Uncle Lewis.
Uncle Lewis.
Uncle Lewis.
Also, I'll get a ding too.
Yeah, they get a ding on that one. He was an uncle. All right. Next one, full disclosure, I don't think I'd be able to get. I mean, because I'm more familiar with the animated version over, the Dr. Seuss animated version over the Jim Carrey 2000 version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Would you like to play or would you like to pass on this film?
I would like to pass on the Grinch
Okay.
because I've seen it, but I don't recall anything about it.
Yeah.
I recall the cartoon much more.
I'm just
I
gonna
think
be-
I think I forced it out of my memory, and I said I don't want to know this exists,
Yes.
and I'd rather just remember the old cartoon, the old Dr. Seuss cartoon.
Good call. Good call. All right, I'll give you one here. I'm just going to give you a fun fact from that movie because this was a trivia question. I don't think we would have got it, but it would have been a fun fact. Mike said thank you. All right. Jim Carrey spoke with an accent when playing the Grinch. Which actor accent did he base the Grinch off of?
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if I were them.
Yes.
They should.
Well, yeah, and this guy is notoriously angry to that he got in a fight on the set of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and then he left Hollywood after
Sean
that.
Connery?
Sean Connery. Damn it, Trebek. They actually have a green monster using my accent.
Never would. I had no idea that was the case. And,
I feel like I remember.
that's absolutely a ridiculous choice for the Grinch.
But you're not a big. I remember because you weren't happy, and I think Mike agreed with you on this. So you're not a happy with Jim Carrey's performance in Man in the Moon. So you might. Is it fair to say that you're not a Jim Carrey guy?
No, I am a Jim Carrey guy. I just think that in certain instances he's terribly miscast. Man in the Moon, he was terribly miscast.
Yeah, but obviously we know Truman Show is by far, hands down, his best film because that was another very meta movie.
Truman Show's good. He's good in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's true. Oh, it could be argued that's up there too.
He's good in Ace Ventura. I like when he talks out of his ass.
Yeah.
But I just thought he was. I thought he was terrible as Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, I
He's
remember.
absolutely the exact opposite of what it should be.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, we talked about this on Jerry Lawler. Just like, hey, did you not get what Andy Kaufman was really out? We were actually friends. All right, here's going to be a tough one for me. And I don't know, it's up to you. You make the call. It's romantic Christmas movie trivia. I never even heard of this first one called The Holiday, and it has Cameron Diaz in it. And I don't know the actor who's actually in it. Oh, Once Bitten. Yeah, that's a Jim Carrey classic. That's a deep cut.
Excellent Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Vehicle.
So no go on The Holiday 2006. Yeah, I don't. We've been
Who's in it? Carmen
Cameron
Electra?
Cameron Diaz and Jude Law.
No, I don't even. Yeah.
Pass. Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. What about this one? Is actually really famous, and I feel like I've only seen it once. But this is one of the, like, if you name Christmas movies, this is one of the top ones, and it's got Rick Grimes in it, and that's how I know it. Rick Grimes with the sign saying, "To me, you are perfect."
Love Actually.
Yeah, Love Actually. You feel good about that?
I can jump into that one. I have a funny Love Actually story.
Or you want to do the questions of the story, or the story then the questions?
We'll do some questions and I'll do the
All
story.
right. Yeah, you see if it comes up organically. All right. Love Actually from 2003. Who plays David, the newly elected prime minister?
That would be Hugh Grant.
Correct. Hugh Grant plays newly elected prime minister. All right. Next question. How does Mark know Juliet? I wouldn't be able to get any of these. Wow.
Mark, no Juliet. I want to say porn set.
Zach and Miri make a porno. No, it's married to Mark's best friend, Peter. She's my best friend's girl.
Okay, so I was thinking it was the porn set thing because I don't know if you know this. Have you seen Love Actually a bunch of times?
No, not a bunch of times have I seen it.
Okay,
I've
so
only seen
there's
it
like a
once.
whole, I think there's like a whole, because it's all intercut stories. There's like one whole story that takes place on a porn set.
That's real?
Okay, that's real. But the thing is, I
no
think
idea.
they usually cut it out from the TV version because it's all a porn shoot, and you can see like it's dirty. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Anyway, but like I think they always cut it out of the TV version. So there was like one Christmas, my grandma was still alive, and like my aunt bought the brand new Blu-ray of Love Actually, right? Like with and I guess it was like the director's cut or something. So the porn scene was in there, and so like they start playing the Blu-ray. And it's like Christmas, everybody's in the living room just kind of watching TV, and like no, they just put it on kind of for like grandma and some folks to watch, and like and that stuff just keeps coming on, and nobody can find the remote to turn it off. It was a funny story. I didn't tell her, but she started like yelling and screaming. But
The grandmother faces porn Christmas is a great.
yeah, but it's weird because I only think it's on like the Blu-ray version or something because
Oh wow.
it's an entire storyline they trimmed out.
Oh, that's a lot too. I mean, I feel like you make a lot of dominoes fall with that. All right. I just don't know enough about the movie enough to know if these are easy or hard. So I guess I'll just rifle through. And that's it for Reader's Digest. After that, we can jump to the next one. But I think unless you know the Christmas Prince in 2017.
There's a prince.
Yeah, there's a Christmas Prince. All right, we'll rifle through these last ones here. What instrument does Sam learn to impress his crush?
Instrument.
Yeah.
Is it piano?
No, it's the drums.
The drums.
The drums, yes.
That's
oh,
right.
I'm going to skip it because it's another name one, and I think you're not into the name, just like the random name thing.
Well, they don't. It's not like they go around saying their
exactly.
names to each other out loud. You don't really know anybody's name.
Yeah, so that's
Do you ever know anybody's name in the film?
not many, not like that. Who does Jamie catch his girlfriend cheating on him with? This is a big one. I feel like it's a big one.
Which one's Jamie?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
There's a lot of cheating
Yeah,
in that movie.
family member. That's the hint. Family member. Brother. Yeah, correct. That's it. You had to guess a family member. These are all right. I'm gonna read one more. Here's the last one. In the beginning voiceover of the film, David says that whenever he feels sad about the state of the world, he thinks about the arriving terminals at which airport to feel better.
Heathrow.
Heathrow. That is correct. Yeah, I figured that would be a good one.
I just know that because I went to London once.
It's actually it's a pretty good airport. All right, that's it for Reader's Digest. Thank you very much. We got time for a few more. You want to do a few more for the Holly Jolly ones for our friends at the independentlyhappy.com? I feel like I just like that website URLs. I was like, maybe they have some good questions here.
All right, let's do it. We're about to break the 3-hour mark.
Oh, wow.
On this thing.
That is a 3-hour mark.
This is longer than Endgame.
All right, here's the part. Oh, damn it. Good. So this is actually fun. This was the compared to not knowing what brother cheated with what named person. This is Guess That Christmas Movie. Do we have that Guess That Christmas Movie music? Yeah. Grinding. All right. So I'm basically going to read you something about the movie, and you're going to just guess the name of the movie. Ready?
That seems fair.
Yeah. Thank you for our friends at independentlyhappy.com. In what classic Christmas movie does a boy make his mom wash out his... do I even need to finish? In what classic Christmas movie does a boy make him wash his mouth out with soap for saying fudge?
Christmas Story.
Correct. Oh, this is a good one. What Christmas movie has Santa defending himself in court as to whether or not he's really Santa?
Miracle on 34th Street.
Correct. What 2004 Christmas movie was the first all-digital capture film?
The Polar Express.
Correct. As of October 2021, what is the highest grossing box office Christmas film of all time?
Elf. Home Alone. Elf.
The answer is actually The Grinch, which is tricky because that's animated. The animated one, not the Jim Carrey one, that's the 2018 version starring Benedict Cumberbatch. It surpassed Home Alone, which held that position for many, many years. What Christmas movie stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad as dads trying to find a sellout toy for their sons?
Jingle All the Way.
Yes, that's good. What's the whole thing about Sinbad not existing? Or Sinbad's show doesn't exist?
No, Sinbad, it's not that Sinbad doesn't exist, it's that Sinbad was in a movie called Shazam and not Shaq.
Oh, that's, again, we're talking about simulation. There it is right there, right?
That's called Mandela Effect.
Yes, the Mandela effect.
So apparently some folks don't remember the movie Shazam starring Shaq. They remember a movie called Shazam starring Sinbad.
Yes, that's it. That's awesome. Because I kind of remember both. So I don't know if that means I have a foot in both worlds. Because that means there is a reality where both those films exist. That's pretty awesome.
I'd like to see the Shazam version with Sinbad, though.
Yeah, I totally would say. I think they should make it now. I think they should lean into that. All right. Next.
I met Sinbad once.
You did?
Yeah.
Where at?
He was doing. I was doing the AV at like a convention center up in Dallas, and he was like the speaker or whatever.
Oh, okay.
He was coming to speak. He would be around a lot. Like he kind of had like a routine that he would take. He would tailor to whatever business was booking him for it. You know.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
If it was tires, like tires are always like this. Anyway. He had like a green room back there, and like one time he wanted some help hooking up his cable or whatever. He didn't say much. I expected it to be a lot funnier. I thought he'd like make fun of my clothes or something.
Nothing, huh? These are the facts. I use that gif. These are the facts. Yes, he was house guest, first kid. Yeah, that's some classic. Those are classics there. All right, this is a tough one. Now we're going to start getting a little tougher. What 2011 animated movie depicted the story of Santa's two sons vying for the position of Santa Claus?
Animated movie?
Yeah, 2011. 10 years ago.
Oh, animated movie.
Yeah. Maybe it's not animated. Maybe I totally made that up. Oh, no, it says animated.
I have no idea.
The answer is Arthur Christmas. Arthur Christmas?
That doesn't even ring a bell.
No bells being rung.
Did you ever see Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas?
I love Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Try to watch it on Disney Plus. It's kind of unwatchable.
Yeah, there's actually... Isn't there like a YouTube video that you sent me that you basically... It was the outtakes from that? And
No,
you're just...
I don't
Oh
think I saw
my
that.
God, there was like outtakes and it was like... That was like painful to watch.
It's kind of hard to watch.
It is. Mike thinks Sinbad is the analyst.
He could be.
He could very well be. All right, next question. What 1988 film starring...
Boom, broke 3 hours. First 3 hour live stream.
Wow, yeah, that is the end game. I thought we broke something else.
We're now longer than Boogie Nights.
Yes.
We're about to be longer than Casino.
Yeah, maybe we should have made a trilogy. All right. What 1988 film starring Bill Murray is a modern-ish retelling of the Charles Dickens novel
Scrooged.
Scrooge? The title is also rather
Dude, I haven't
funny.
watched Scrooge yet this year. It's great. Like I love watching Scrooge.
Really?
You don't like Scrooge?
I like Scrooged.
Oh man, it's
I remember
so
the
good.
artwork was always so, with his hair all kind of puffed up, and he had was it a cigar?
I think Bill Murray was like magic for a little bit because he was like, how you heard he won't. Back in the day, he wouldn't even do the script or anything like that. He just ad lib.
yeah.
I think Scrooge is another one where he's just ad libbing through the movie, and it's so funny.
Yeah, he's still magic. He's still, just now he's just crashing parties with his magic. All right, next question. What 2003 Christmas movie sequel, part 3 to be exact, features Martin Short as the villain?
The Santa Claus 3.
Yeah. Do you remember the little subtitle for it?
The Ice Man.
The Iceman cometh. It's actually called The Escape Clause, which I guess that's how they were going to give closure to that trilogy. All right. Which movie tells the story of a couple who offended their neighbors by planning to take a Caribbean cruise for Christmas?
Wait, say that again?
Which movie tells the story of a couple who offend their neighbors by planning to take a Caribbean cruise for Christmas?
Christmas with the Cranks?
Christmas with the Cranks is correct. That's a lot of C's. Christmas with the Cranks is correct. See you next.
Also with Tim Allen, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was just the king of Christmas movies for a
He
while.
was the king of Christmas movies.
You think he's pissed he's not in the Buzz Lightyear movie? Why wouldn't he have the same voice?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't again. I was
Like, it
very
doesn't matter if
confused.
you cast a more handsome voice.
Yeah. Your voice is way more handsome.
They could have de-aged his voice or something, right? I'm sure he's pissed about that.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have a cameo of him as like the old man Cap will be old man Buzz, and he's just sitting there and he's like, "No, I don't think I will be the voice of that." All right, last one for this section of it. Which Christmas movie has the line, "Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more"?
That's the line?
Yeah.
That's a line of dialogue?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a line. And I guess the rhyming should kind of give it away.
Say it again.
Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
Bad Santa.
Why didn't we talk about Bad Santa? It's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Dr.
Oh,
Seuss is he loves his rhymes. But that was actually in the animated version too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was both. All right, so now the independently happy people jump around and do a few of the same movies. We'll skip. I don't know. You want to keep going? But we're over the 3-hour mark. Let me see if there's a movie that we haven't done.
You tell me, bro. You're going to edit this one.
Yeah, why didn't they do Fred Claus?
I never saw Fred Claus.
You didn't see Fred Claus?
No, that's the one with Vince Vaughn, right?
It could have been better. Yeah, Vince Vaughn.
I like the idea of Vince Vaughn is like, your money, baby, Santa Claus. Santa baby.
Yeah, he's like 6 foot. He's like Shaq tall, right? He's like super tall. I just remember the 4 Christmases. Oh, maybe him and Tim Allen should get in a fight for the Christmas movie guys. Because he also did 4 Christmases with I'll edit it so I'm not having to think of her name. What's her name? She was going to be the new Julia Roberts, the blonde girl.
Who? What movie?
4 Christmases. Oh, man.
What's her name? Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, Reese. Why can't I think of her name? Yeah, and Judge Reinhold too. Judge Reinhold is a Christmas guy.
He is a Christmas guy.
Yeah, because I somebody made a funny meme of just like when you awkwardly have to meet your friend's girlfriend, realizing that you masturbated to her near the pool, and they show the scene from Gremlins when he's looking at Phoebe Cates.
I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, Judge Reinhold. All right, Will. So the only one that's different that's in this that you didn't do earlier was Polar Express. Let's just do these random ones. These are not related. It says various Christmas movie trivias. So let's just do that, and then we'll call it.
All right. Random Christmas movie trivia.
8 various Christmas movie trivia questions. As I watch movies this year, I'll come up with work up more. Oh, he was actually talking to us. I'll definitely add more questions for Arthur Christmas and maybe Die Hard. All right.
What's the title again of this segment?
8 various Christmas movie trivia questions.
That's good.
Various Christmas movie trivia. Fuck yeah!
All right, we'll cut it there.
All right. Ready? What Christmas song plays at the end of the movie Die Hard?
White Christmas.
No, Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow.
Oh, damn it.
Vaughn Monroe. Vaughn Monroe.
Oh, White Christmas plays at the end of Lethal Weapon.
Correct. All right. In A Charlie Brown Christmas, what song does Lucy ask Schroeder to play?
Jingle Bells.
Correct. In The Muppet Christmas Carol, what non-Muppet actor plays Ebenezer Scrooge?
Is it George C. Scott?
No, it is Sir Michael Caine. And right now, I'll just have a note to add him saying, "I failed you," from Batman. All right. Oh, we wanted to know the name of this, and now we've come full circle. In Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, who joined Rudolph on his adventure after he left the North Pole? It's 2 people, and one of them is the name of the elf that we couldn't think of their name. Now,
Sam.
It's Hermie. Hermie, the misfit elf. And do you remember the lumberjack's name? The Big Bear? I don't know why I called him the Big Bear.
Jamble.
No, that's Bumble is the abominable snowman. It's Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius.
Cornelius! Did you ever watch Davy and Goliath growing up? The stop motion Davy and Goliath?
No, I never saw that.
With the talking dog. And I think it was done by the Church of Latter-day Saints or whatever. But it was always like before Saturday morning cartoon show, it was Davy and Goliath.
It was probably syndicated. It just ran in.
Yeah, and they
East,
just
what is it? What's your town again? East
yeah.
Islip?
Yeah, exactly. It probably only ran there. You got to Google that, but yeah, that's.
Well, you were telling me something about what plays on Christmas Day. What movie plays on Christmas Day?
Oh yeah, The Wizard of Oz plays
that
on
doesn't
Thanksgiving.
happen. That
on
doesn't.
Thanksgiving.
That's not a thing.
That's why I was like, yes, I remember The Wizard of Oz always played.
I think that was just on the Central Islip
The
station.
Central Islip station. You're watching Strong Island Television.
Please tell us, did anybody else? Did their town play?
So all we
the
got.
Wizard of Oz on Christmas?
No, it was Wizard of Oz was Thanksgiving. March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy was Christmas.
I have never heard of March of the Wooden Soldiers.
What? You never seen the black and white March of the Wooden Soldiers with Laurel and Hardy?
I have not seen that at
What?
all. I'm telling you, that was just your station.
It was basically based on Babes in Toyland, but they inserted Laurel and Hardy. Holy shit! I have the DVD. I gotta lend it to you.
Never heard of it.
Oh my god! There really was just a centralized station. That's all they get.
I think that's what was going on there, man.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, a couple more. What was the original title for the song "The Little Drummer Boy"? Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. There was also a stop motion for Little Drummer Boy that might have only been on the CI station.
I never heard about that.
Carol of the Drum. Did not know that. Oh, you're not going to get this one, but it's a fun one, so we'll just do it as a fun fact. In The Nightmare Before Christmas, the name of the main villain is Oogie Boogie. You got to watch that.
Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. All right, and what is the name of the character Tim Allen plays in The Santa Claus?
Scott Calvin.
Correct. All right, and this is perfect. So, Mike, in the chat, this is you're going to get this because you already typed it, and you're definitely going to get this, and it's a good way to end because we're going to end on a victory. What is the name of the hard-to-find sellout action figure in Jingle All the Way?
What are you asking me? I thought you were asking.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the last question. The name of the
Hang on. Yeah, ask it again.
What is the name of the hard-to-find sellout action figure in Jingle All the Way? Oh, really?
Me too. Do you have any more in the bag?
What is that?
These guys are looking for a Turbo Man? A gentleman dog, yes. Turbo Man!
Is it Turbo Man?
It is Turbo Man. Correct. That is the way you end a 3-hour broadcast. So we done. Thank you there. Thanks, Mike. They've made it fun in the chats there. Thank you, Slava. You're still out there somewhere. I think we scared him off with spoilers. So that's it. So we'll say.
I don't know why that's coming in so loud on the headphones. My bad. Okay, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Sorry to break that transition.
Yeah. So we will end it with a quote. If you were to end this with a holiday Christmas movie quote, what would it be? And you would go with. Wait, hard luck, Mike. He almost got it. We're close. We're about to wrap up, Mike. You just missed a 3-hour extravaganza. Watch on demand. You can fast forward the parts where we're drunk. It was blue beer, man. It was blue beer.
Aquamarine.
Aquamarine. All right. That's it. The quote is going to be, I'll answer my own question. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.